I think we should probably address the necromancer situation.
Yeah, I mean, elephant in the room, right?
Yeah.
Someone here is alive that was dead previously.
Yeah.
Somebody paid for a necromancer that did not raise me.
The necromancer didn't raise you?
Hey, wait a minute, yeah. Did you not get raised?
I don't know what you paid for.
We paid for a resurrection.
Yeah.
Twice, apparently.
Yeah.
You're telling me that necromancer...
You might want to follow up on that. I don't think that guy was legit.
Wait, so you're telling me that they just took my money and ran?
It's the last time I use a locally sourced fucking necromancer. If I ever see that nigga on the streets, I'm beating his ass.
You gotta check the Yelp reviews.
You gotta check the Yelp
He'll
reviews.
just come back if you do, though.
It came recommended from my ghost friends.
I was just trying to support a local business. Boo on me, I guess.
Are you... Shakes, are you sure that the necromancer didn't revive you?
How did you come back then?
Yeah.
Tell the story. Spin us the yarn.
I took the anti-death pill.
You just had one of those?
Yeah, it took me a little while to remember.
So you're like 1/7 of Sun Wukong. Congratulations.
God. Okay.
I'll work on the rest later.
I'll see. I got the revival certificate. So I'm gonna ask who they revived.
Wow, that's a really fancy operation.
Yeah,
I mean,
really.
it's respectable. They get. I'm gonna need to.
I mean, they're really trying to make it look that way. Yeah.
Is this our intro, or are we just faffing right now?
I mean, with this podcast, it's kind of a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
I'm pretty sure it has to definitively be A or B as a podcast.
All right, well.
For our editor's sake.
That's fair. I'm okay with making that the intro if y'all are.
Me too.
Sure.
So I'll call the necromancer. See what they're up to and who they revivified. But I know that there's a whole bunch of people who didn't.
Yeah, and we're going to get into them and all sorts of other shenanigans on today's episode of Longtime Watcher, First Time Writer. Hello and welcome again, everybody. It's episode number 15. It's the big 1-5. We've hit 15 episodes of this podcast. How about that? 15 whole episodes. Shakes is back. Another thing to celebrate.
Shakes has only hit 14 episodes.
Well, yeah, maybe next time jam, asshole.
Meet your quotas.
Oh,
fucking
man.
walked right into it.
As soon as I'm back.
You're gonna fucking throw shit, you're gonna get shit thrown.
Fresh Prince did me dirty.
Yeah, that sounds about right, honestly.
I should have known. He was bad at basketball. It's in the theme song.
Yeah, you really, that was on you.
Like, you could have just taken your anti-death pill, sooner. You didn't even have to jam.
Yeah, also that. For shame, Shakes.
If I'm dead.
But yeah, it's Kamen Rider episode number 15. Or, well, not Kamen Rider episode 15, but podcast episode number 15. We're going to be talking about Kamen Rider episodes number 34 and 35. How about that? We're also now on 35 episodes of Kamen Rider. We're a little under or over halfway through the series.
Under, aren't we?
Under,
right? Yeah. I was going to say, it's 98, so it
we're not
divides
in the
weird.
40s.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're under half. We're a little
Under
over
half, but we're getting close.
a third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're chugging on through. We're making our way. And speaking of making our way, we're gonna make our way up this mountain of corpses on the death count with our good friend B-Drops.
Well, the spread is surprisingly even for episode 32 and 33. Hayato went a little nuts episode 32 because they kept giving him swords, and obviously Shocker hasn't learned their lesson. I'm grateful for that, though. He took out 7 Shocker guys almost entirely with swords. However, Shocker is, I wouldn't say back on the rise, but they're not at 0. They're not at 1.
They're working on it.
Yeah, they got 3 whole kills.
Wow.
Because for the first time in a little while, their schemes don't involve just infecting people with nasty things. So episode 32 caps off with 10 total kills. Episode 33 For the first time in a little while, we have the balance tipped in the opposite direction, where Shocker has more kills in an episode than Kamen Rider does. It's been a little while. Did not miss that. Gotta get back on the bloodlust.
I think we did.
I think we definitely did. Kamen Rider's only kill for 33 was the big bad, while Shocker got 4 whole kills, all those poor farmer men.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
We have
Rip to those farmers.
We have just rolled over them.
Sure did roll right through that cottage and destroyed all of those farmers, except for the one that got stabbed later. Whoops. And we have a new runner in the miscellaneous kill count with Connie. Yeah. Connie shot 2 mooks down. I really thought she killed more people, but she did not.
Did she really only shoot 2 mooks?
She really only shot 2 mooks.
I also thought she killed more people.
Nope. To be fair, I guess evidence does show she's pretty ineffective that episode, so whatever, I guess.
Yeah.
That brings us with 7 total kills for episode 33. For both total, we've got Kamen Rider at 8 kills for both episodes, leading Hayato to have 138 kills out of 190 total for Team Kamen Rider. We are impending on the big 200, really exciting.
Yeah.
Shocker at 7 kills. They finally, unfortunately, passed the benchmark and are now at 106 kills.
Boo.
Boo. Miscellaneous kill count hit a small benchmark of 20 with these 2 new kills.
Nice. Good job, Miscellaneous.
Good job, Connie, bringing us up to 20. Appreciate it. And that brings us
even number.
To 17 total kills for both episodes, and 316 total kills for the entire series. We have officially passed 300 kills. As of episode 32, most specifically.
32 or 33?
32.
Okay.
33 just helped.
Wow, yeah.
It's only going to go up.
It's really only going to go up. Do we just try and quick mental recap from today's episodes? Do we actually hit 200 Kamen Rider kills? I think we do because we only need 10 more.
Yeah, we only need 10 more.
We had over 10 for sure.
So there you have it. By 35 episodes, Kamen Rider has killed at least 200 people.
The both of them combined, anyways. Though Hayato has been a significant amount. Depending how many he gets.
Yeah, Hayato's at, 130?
He's at 138, so 12 more and he's at 150.
God damn.
I'm still impressed with Hongo. I keep thinking oh man, Hongo's getting eclipsed, because he hasn't been in an episode since what? That was 10, right?
Yeah.
14.
Episode
or 13.
Okay.
13 was his last episode.
13 episodes. That man still had 60 kills.
Yeah, he didn't get a chance to work long, so he worked hard.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, Hongo really went nuts with it, and I think we're gonna go nuts with it. It being the synopsis for the episode, starting off with episode number 34, Japan in Peril, Gamagailer's Invasion. Air date November 20th, 1971. That's relevant for reasons. As always, unfortunately, no synopsis or plot to be had. So let's just get into it, because this is a weird one. This is kind of an outlier episode, especially because it has or at least attempts to have some long-term plot relevancy.
It does
implications.
Also, the track record of the writer. Gopher brought this up as we were watching some of the other episodes the writer for this episode had worked on. And I feel like it'd be interesting to keep that in mind as we go forward. What other episodes did this writer?
Let me pull it up once more, as I just had so many tabs.
I just found it a fascinating comparison.
I remember hearing Squirtle was one of them. Flying Squirtle.
Flying Squirtle was one of them.
So we're already an upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see.
Starting at the bottom.
You wanted the director or writer?
You said the writer, right?
Yes, the writer. We had their first episode being episode 5 with Mantis Men.
Mantis.
Wow.
The Bee Woman. Murders Yamagalis. Hito Danger.
So this is a core writer from the beginning, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
The Jobber Factory.
Also, this guy likes nukes.
Mushroom Morgue.
This dude really does like nukes.
He's. I'm listening to this track record. I know there are a couple episodes here that are pertaining to nukes. This one included.
A lot of bombs.
Episode 34.
Yeah.
And or super fuel.
Yeah.
Explosives.
The jellyfish and trilobite.
Wow.
And
this guy is...
also man-eating flower. So they have a very big track record on
really. Talk about a core
with,
writer on the series.
With some questionable episodes sometimes, but really mostly good track record, and I think that's interesting.
Definitely good episodes, if not maybe good plans for Shocker.
Some of those were ripped from the clown school.
Yeah, for sure.
I just find some small solace in the fact that the same person didn't create both Mantis Man and Cobra Man.
That would have been... That man truly would have been forever known as the Jobber Factory. He would have had to have gotten it tattooed in kanji on his forehead.
We're going back to the other guy.
No,
wrote fucking Cobra Man.
Cobra Man was directed by by the same person who directed this episode.
Hell yeah.
Oh, it's a tag team effort, Jobber Factory.
Yeah. Also directed Hito Danger and Doku Gander. Also Squirtle episode.
There you go.
Also Squirtle.
Yeah.
A real screenwriter, a real writer-director team here.
Yeah. Truly the jobbers of our tag team division.
Did they write the next episode too, or did one of them get involved with the next episode?
35. Let's see.
Not to spoil anything, I just want to know.
No.
Okay. Well, that's just makes something about that episode extra funny that we'll cover later.
Yeah.
They do write and direct far into the future, nearing the end, or nearing all the way up to the end of the series, and then also for V3.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah, and with the director, going all the way up to, oh my goodness, Kamen Rider Super 1.
Whoo! Super 1 is like
81.
Yeah,
Wow.
okay, I thought so, like 80, 81.
Yeah.
Damn, he directs for a while.
Absolutely.
Old hand.
Old hand
Keep
indeed.
him on.
Yeah. Well, some interesting little tidbits. And with that, let's go ahead and just get actually into the episode proper. So we open up at what can only really be described as like a water processing plant or something. I don't know why they chose this to be the set. I guess they just had it on hand. Where we see a gentleman who looks like he's supposed to be on a different show, who is watching his daughter pick flowers. We find out that the daughter's name is Rumiko. I'm not sure exactly when we figure this out, but I don't really care about spoilers enough to keep this in the pocket.
Right,
at some point.
Yeah, it's soon enough that it's not like it wouldn't be a big spoiler. But we find out that the gentleman's name is Mr. Origuchi. Mr. Origuchi is waiting for someone while his daughter is picking flowers. And as she is doing so, we see that she gets startled by something that she finds in the bushes. Obviously Mr. Origuchi goes to see what's going on with her. When he sees it's just a frog. No, don't be too scared, Rumiko. It's only a frog. Only for that frog to be snatched away from us by a big orange hand.
Real good horror movie cut. They turn around and it's just like reaches in. I heard V like gasp.
Yeah,
I do remember hearing that.
It's not because
it was a jump scare.
Okay, in my defense, and I'll confess that I am an easily scared person by jump scares, but it is because, and this will match up with my behavior for the rest of the episode during our viewing as well, but I am terrified seeing people grab animals carelessly. Yeah. Just seeing this hand reach out of the grass and just yoink, just grab this frog from the top. I was like, no!
Different horror movie pull then.
Yeah.
You had the Friday the 13th, 3 pull?
And also, this was 71. And in
they
Japan.
Don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck about animals.
Yeah, speaking of Friday the 13th, if you've seen the first movie, you may know, but generally speaking, watching old stuff, if I see an animal on screen, I get nervous. They didn't really have a whole lot of rights in film and TV for quite a long time. So, a lot of the time when I see them just appear in an old show, I'm like, oh god, am I about to see this frog get stepped on?
That would be real rough, yeah.
It's 3 years before Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, which was when, at least in the US, film started to be like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't treat people like this. So...
Yeah, I imagine animal laws then, by that token.
Yeah.
A little longer.
Yeah, probably gonna be a bit.
What we're saying is Goro would have been canceled on Instagram if this came out today.
Truth.
It's true. We will have to get to that, though.
Poor Goro. I can't believe we're gonna have to cancel Goro this episode.
Sorry, Goro.
I want to cancel him. He's my little guy. I love him.
He's too young to be on Twitter anyway.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
They banned him from the motorcycle club for having too much money.
Oh, I would love to see Goro on Side Talk NYC.
But this is, it's also a wild scene just because you have a frog get kidnapped by a Nazi human frog, which is a weird sentence.
Yeah.
Spoilers, that's what's in the grass.
That's what's in the grass. That's the hand that picks him up.
Yeah, so going on forward with the actual episode, the gentleman that Mr. Orguchi is waiting for arrives, and we find out that he has been waiting for our good buddy Hayato. He's like, hey, you're Ichimonji Hayato, right? I need your help. But more specifically, I need the Kamen Rider's help. And obviously this kind of, gets Hayato feeling suspicious because the only people who know that he is, Kamen Rider are Tachibana, Taki, and the Nazis.
I feel like right off the bat, this is a really weird scene. Partially because, while you were saying to me that he is waiting for somebody, I feel like they didn't communicate this to Hayato's actor, and he plays the scene like he was just driving along, and this guy goes, "Hey, you're Hayato Ichimonji, the Kamen Rider," and he's just like, "What? Who? How do you know my name? Who are you?"
I very much so got that energy too of he wasn't called to this location by anyone or anything, and Mr. Origuchi has just been standing outside for 3 hours. I know he's gonna show up eventually. Pretty sure he passes this way when he goes to work. Where is this dude? Huh. Oh well, keep waiting, I guess. It's really weird energy, at least out of Hayato. I don't know. I don't know if there's not any kind of a line to imply that Origuchi called for him, right?
No.
Yeah, we just kind of get that he is very clearly waiting for someone, We get that. That's well established, but whether Hayato knew he was supposed to be coming here or not is just up in the air.
I feel
just chilling.
I feel it's pretty strongly implied that Hayato wasn't called here because to get his attention, Dr. Origuchi actually steps out into the road and holds up a hand at Hayato.
Yeah, he does wave him down, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, he waves him down from the road, and he's like, "Hi, you're Hayato Ichimonji, right?" So I think 100% this guy just really did his homework and just knew where to find Hayato, which was strangely right outside of his base of operations. Another thing we need to mention is that this weird water processing plant looking place has a sign outside that says this is Dr. Origuchi's Institute of Criminal Research.
Yep, it is a crime research facility.
I guess I would call that forensic science now, but he's like comic book crime research.
Yeah, really.
he dresses like an extra from a Star Trek Next Generation, like if they landed on a planet and had to interact with the locals.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And his lab just kind of looks like a prop closet. It's just full of shit.
Yeah, it's just got
weird mannequins.
It's got stuff in there, all sorts of
goofy symbols, some gadgets.
Some doodads. We got a wall goes up and there's a computer behind it. The works.
Bobs. He's got 20.
Oh, yeah.
But who cares?
No big deal.
No big deal.
He wants vengeance. But yeah, so Origuchi introduces himself to Hayato. He talks about how he knows about Shocker, and they kind of get to walking and talking, and Origuchi mentions that he feels like now because, he knows about Shocker, and he has found out about some of their plans, he thinks he is being watched. Right on cue, of course, we do see that he is in fact being watched by this big orange frog man, who is our bad guy for the episode. In the Japanese, he is referred to as Gamagailer. Our English translation of the name, I do rather appreciate, as it is in fact Toadiller.
Totaler.
A totaler.
It's suitable that we didn't give him a real proper introduction in podcast because he doesn't get one.
Yeah.
In the show,
not even remotely.
He's just in media res. He's doing stuff.
He's lurking in the grass. But it's okay, I guess. I don't know.
Just a frog.
Now that he's been revealed in an episode in plain sight, as opposed to crouched behind tall grass, he's just standing out there watching this conversation happen. Is this a good time to describe him?
Yeah, please go for it.
So imagine if you just, took Admiral Akbar and undressed him.
Oh, no.
Also, if you just reached up his nose and stretched his nostrils out real wide. It's basically what this guy looks like.
I would also like to add the addendum of... He looks like a raisin version of Admiral Akbar.
He does look like a...
He's dehydrated.
He's glassy-eyed, he's looking dry and crusty.
Get this man some water.
Do be hella wrinkly. Men's needs to moisturize just a little bit. It's funny because I'm looking at the Gamagailer, the little preview image on the wiki, and it is occurring to me how much that this is probably just the Chameleon Man suit.
It's painted over
red and with some of the bumps taken off.
Oh my god, you're right.
It's it's not quite as bumpy, but other than that, I wouldn't be surprised.
They've retextured him.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, you're fucking right.
I think the interesting thing is
because he's got the horns. I was remembering, I was like, was there horns? Am I misremembering? And I'm looking back. Yes, there's just horns.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a repaint of the Chameleon Man.
It might be.
It would need to be adjusted. The facial structure and nose are all different, so I don't think so.
I think they took half of the head.
They could have...
And maybe remade it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like took the Chameleon Man mold and messed with it some. Cause did Chameleon Man have 2 horns? Chameleon Man did have 2 horns, but they were different.
It's mostly the nose and the eye holes of how prevalent they are, and that's why I'm thinking they're not the same. But they are quite similar.
It is different positioning now that I'm looking.
Yeah, but the actual bodysuit itself. Yeah. The head is close, but specifically the bodysuit part is very like you look at those two bodysuits.
There's one piece missing.
Yeah,
but yeah,
It's funny. I don't know why, but it wasn't until you mentioned the nostrils and like I was looking at this preview image that I noticed. This almost looks like if you were to. Or maybe even if you were to leave the eyes the same color, this almost looks like an alien costume for like a different show. Where I don't know if this is as prevalent in other pictures of Gamma but in this one I'm looking at here, if you look at the like nostrils as their eyes, and then like have what's probably the bottom part of the mouth be like a separation, kind of like a nose type situation, and then you look at the folds underneath as like a mouth. This is like an alien costume from like a different show.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
This is what they used in the Predator before they decided on the Predator.
Yeah,
a dumb thing that Jean-Claude Van Damme was running around in.
Yeah, this is the Proto-Predator.
Wait a minute, guys. We got a budget. We don't need to use Kamen Rider props anymore.
Hell yeah.
No.
Hey, look, we love Kamen Rider props on this show, but we also acknowledge that they are clearly made on a budget.
Now that I say that, though,
you could do a little better.
I think if you took the premise of Kamen Rider and then just put yourself in like the shoes of like a civilian, you could make like some Predator-esque stuff. If you do it right, I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah, actually,
Kamen Rider would fight the Predator.
Absolutely.
Well, no, you wouldn't have the Kamen Rider in it. You just have like
I know. I'm just saying. I'm saying like until Kamen Rider shows up, yes, you're right. But also, Kamen Rider would be a pretty good match with the Predator. I think they'd have a good fight.
I'd be down for something like that. Some kind of like a survival horror type movie, a la like an Alien or a Predator, where it seems like it's just like normal people fighting like aliens or something, and then like halfway through the movie, a Kamen Rider or a Sentai team shows up, and you're just like, psych, wrong genre.
What?
That would be amazing. Kamen Rider, I wonder if he would like sense the Predator too easily though, with all his like super enhanced cyborg senses. There's a chance he could also
DNA.
see things by heat. He could super hear anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Predator would respect that and adjust the tactics accordingly.
Yeah,
that's fair.
He's gotta make lots of interfering noise. He's gotta fuck with them. It'd be a beautiful match.
What if instead of Kamen Rider saving civilians from the Predator is hunting Kamen Rider?
He would eventually, right?
I think that would be a really interesting.
He would have
movie.
to.
At some point in time, you got to think it's just like, well, I got to go for the best prey. Those normal people are kind of neat, but like that one's a cyborg.
That's the whole notion of the Predators. They hunt warriors. They hunt game that will fight back because they wanna beat it.
You want game that'll fight back? Look no farther than fucking Hayato and Hongo.
Tachibana just happened there.
Yeah, it would be Hayato, Hongo, Taki, and Tachibana.
Yeah, Tachibana is the one that dies on the log.
Probably. But not before taking out like at least one predator himself.
No, there's only one predator in this movie.
Oh shit. Well, never mind then.
I'm talking OG Predator.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm talking the T-Hawk dude who has a scene and you don't see the fight, you just see the outcome.
Rest in peace, Tachibana. You will be avenged.
God,
but he collects his skull because he respects him.
Hell yeah.
I love Predator. It's such a good fucking movie, but that's not what we're talking about.
No, we're talking about Kamen Rider.
Well, I'll keep it in the back of my mind. We gotta watch Predator together, but
yeah, later on that'll be another podcast. But so yes, we see Toe Diddler for the first time properly, and we go back to Shocker's base where we reveal that it is their intention to use a nuclear bomb to split Japan in half at its weakest geological point. However, that plan is in jeopardy because Mr. Oguchi is aware of it, and Toe Diddler is woefully unable to capture either him or his daughter. Because, admittedly, Toe Diddler is kind of a jobber this episode. He's
kind of,
but
he's a bit of a clown.
It makes me respect Scientist Man, who I've already forgotten the name of. Like, this dude is set up so competently, like,
yeah, for sure,
astoundingly, like, he's set up kind of like a Shocker base. It's like he has a base of operations, he has tech, and he has plans and defenses, and Shocker doesn't know what to do with that. They really don't.
Yeah, I mean, even just with his like mannerisms and the way he does stuff at the beginning of the episode, because like he knows, like, hey, I think these people are after me, so he is a real stickler on like keeping his daughter close to him at all times. You know, he's real important about, like, you know, you can go off and you can do your thing, but, you know, make sure you're still within my eyesight. Don't go away too far. You know, stick near me, because he knows that, like, these fucking Nazis are trying to get after him, and they will absolutely kidnap his daughter to do it.
They love taking hostages.
It's their
favorite. First and only plan.
Yeah. Yeah. It really is.
No, like, I'll blow up this city if you don't give us the materials. It's always, you have to be related to someone who are out of ideas.
Well, yeah, because why would you care otherwise? Shocker just assumes that everybody is as evil as them. But going forward, so, you know, Shocker, they have revealed their plan, and old Fascistashi has decided he wants us to see some of Toe Diddler's abilities, so he orders Toe Diddler to test his nerve gas ability that he has. And so they do this by bringing in some prisoner.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah. This dude does weirdly look like Gilbert Gottfried, but Japanese. Toe Diddler hits him with the gas, and he starts... I assume he is supposed to be laughing hysterically.
They give him the
something like that.
Yeah. They it doesn't seem like he's actually laughing. It sounds like they ADR in this like weird, like super high pitched laugh that is also like not very frequent either. I don't know, it's just a weird scene because of this laugh. But so he starts, I guess, laughing hysterically, and then I guess he passes out and rolls down the stairs. This part was not clear at all.
Yeah, we
can only, oh, go ahead.
We had assumed that he had just been like Joker gassed and he fell down dead, but then Colonel Zoll says something that implies that he is alive, but there's no real explanation as to why he fell unconscious.
Or why he started laughing.
He just got too silly.
They just wanted to make him look silly, I guess. And after he passes out, Colonel Zoll kicks the man over and says, "No one would ever believe a word a man like that said." And it's like, okay, so they're hatching some plan to make a fool out of Dr. Origuchi, so if he reveals Shocker's plans, people would just think he's an old kook.
Crazy dude.
But
yeah. The actual effect of this gas, as revealed later, is funny because it's more effective.
Yeah, it seems
it's
like
more of an effective plan than just discrediting him.
Like, if you want to discredit the man,
sorry. He gets gassed.
Yeah. I mean, discrediting the man is real easy. All you gotta do is like take him to nickel shot night at the Hula Hands and let nature take its course.
No.
There it is.
This man could drink $10 worth of shots.
You think so?
A nickel shot, yeah.
You think he's that powerful?
That's
I know
like 2
Tachibana
shots.
could.
Yeah.
I thought it was nickel shot.
No,
night.
yeah.
Oh, it's nickel shot.
Gopher
night.
said
You're right,
$10.
yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Look, we don't go to Hula Hands if it's not nickel shot night because there's nothing there for us.
Charge $5 for a shot? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Nickel is a metaphorical.
We just mean it's discounted by a nickel.
We just wanted the 5.
Yeah.
We just wanted the number 5 in there.
Yeah, damn. Y'all ready to go get crunk?
It's actually $500.
At $500 shot night at the Hula Hands. Rich homies only.
Give me a dime.
$500 shot night. One of those shots better kill me instantly. I'm not paying
Yeah.
$500 for a shot otherwise.
$500 shot night. If I smell that shot, my liver needs to explode.
The second one is the coup de grace. It will only wound you.
$500 shot, but it's made out of the tears of all the billionaires in the world.
Well, sounds gross and salty.
That doesn't sound worth it.
Yeah, sounds like I wasted my money.
Who's getting this money?
Night.
Are you giving them
Yeah,
$500
actually,
for me to drink their tears?
I guess.
Wait a minute. Well, that's even worse.
You should
I
be
don't know
paying
if
me
that's
to have
what
to
I'm
drink
doing.
their tears.
Now we're talking.
Give me
Yeah.
$500, I'll drink the tears.
You know what we're not talking about though? Kamen Rider. Let's get
When
back
do
to
we
that.
ever? What? Hold on.
We talk about Kamen Rider sometimes, like right now. So we've gassed the man. It is time to. Oh no, I'm sorry. There's one more thing that happens in the base. Zol essentially orders Totiller to go and take Rumiko hostage. I'm not sure why he ordered him to do this, because it seemed like that was the plan all along. But maybe I'm
never occurred to
crazy.
him.
I don't know.
Sometimes the lines in the show don't make a lot of sense. And there it is. So yeah, Zol orders Todiller to go capture Rumiko, and we break into a fun little scene of Todiller and a contingent of Shocker goons trying to break into the facility. The way this is done is Todiller and like 5 Shocker grunts roll up on the front gate. Todiller tells one of the Shocker grunts to open that gate. That Shocker grunt puts his hands on the gate, and then he gets electrocuted because it's an electric fence. and then a nearby talking totem pole says, "This is a private facility. You can't get in without an advanced appointment. Please leave. Also, we took your picture."
And by the way, this electric fence is about waist high.
Yeah.
There's a hill.
It's a frog!
I can identify you with these photos.
Wait a second.
Good.
Okay, so
Good.
ahead in the episode, nearing the end, he does some jumps over some
You saying this
tracks,
frog can jump?
and he doesn't this time.
What's he?
Well,
He doesn't want to make his men feel insecure. They can't jump like that.
Yeah.
He needs the backup.
You know,
you
I
see-
don't know if that's true. I feel like it might not be safe, but I could probably vault over like a fence like that.
If you
Sure.
pause at this spot in the show and look at this background, look at the scenery, this fence is
Yeah.
built right next to like a hill. Like there's a road and then there's like an incline. This incline is like reinforced with concrete, and then there's like a grass hill that you could simply walk on top of and safely cross over where the fence would be.
Mhm. Listen, Listen, he doesn't want to risk it because you know what happens when a toadiller gets hit by an electric fence. Same thing as everyone else.
But, like, my dude get a stepladder?
Like, seriously?
I think my favorite thing about all of this put together is that once all of this has been established and we've seen the area, we've seen this hill next to the fence, we've seen how short this fence is, we've seen that he's a frog man, he listens to the spiel of the totem, and then he says, damn, his security is airtight.
His security is airtight! Which, his response to that, to the fact that this base apparently has airtight security, is, I will go round back. Just go around the back. There's definitely not going to be security all around the facility, right? They can't possibly...
Well,
nobody has that many fences. Like, come on.
Well, he is right, unfortunately.
No, he's not.
He's kinda is.
He's somewhat right. I don't know.
He lucks into being right.
You're right. It is mostly luck on his...
That's how Shocker Goons work, though.
Yeah. So we go inside the facility where Origuchi is talking with Hayato. He shows Hayato the evidence that Shocker is in fact after him, and I believe at this point Hayato comments on asking where Rumiko, the daughter, is, since obviously Hayato is familiar with Shocker and their tactics. He knows that without a shadow of a doubt they are going to try and kidnap this little girl. That's the weird thing. I don't think he's ever referred to as a doctor. He's only ever referred to as Mr. Origuchi, right?
I believe so.
I don't remember.
He's banned from the medical field.
Lost his PhD.
His ideas are too crazy, but he's on to something. He knows these Shocker people are real. That's like the thing with this. So this guy's whole deal at this juncture is he's like, I know Shocker's real, and I know Kamen Rider is a thing, and we need to blow this wide open. We need to get everybody to know about this, because this is a problem. It's like, and that's what my work is dedicated towards. Which is insane to think about, given how this show has spent... What episode are we on?
34.
33 other episodes not pretending that this is a thing that should never be discussed outside of the episodes.
Yeah, it is interesting that we waited until episode 34 to finally have a character who was like, Shocker is real, and I'm gonna reveal him to the whole world, because especially, like, the fact that that was not the plot at the end of the Cobra Man episode is insane. Because remember that Cobra Man Part 2 ends with a boat exploding.
Yeah.
There was a cop out there that really did
several
know.
Police officers.
Yeah. Cops died. One of them survived and knew Shocker was real and got promoted because of all of this, because he got the credit for what Kamen Rider did. And he just didn't do anything about that.
Didn't say jack shit.
I know Hongo obviously didn't approach him to be like, hey dude, that's not cool, like maybe you should, but like, Hongo did approach this exact officer earlier in the episode to try to say, hey, Shocker's real and they're doing stuff, and this officer was like, what's that? But, like, I don't know, like, the fact that nothing came out of that surprised me.
Yeah.
I kind of thought that, like, at the very least, Kamen Rider himself would approach the cop and be like, you can't tell anybody about this week, but he didn't. This cop just kept it to himself. He just, I don't know. This cop is a bastard.
The cop was on his fucking Yusuke Urameshi shit. He saw a Nazi Cobra Man blow up a boat, and he said, it's got nothing to do with me. Not gonna ruin my good time.
Not gonna ruin my day. Whoa, that guy's a Nazi cyborg. Whatever. Not gonna ruin my day.
Yeah, no skin off of my nose. I mean, yeah, I will again credit where credit is due to fucking Shin Kamen Rider Spirits. Great manga. Read it if you haven't. Because you know they at least addressed this when they introduce Hayato in the manga, because he rolls up with like a contingent of people who have seen and interacted with Shocker and have been like, we tried to go and tell the police and they told us we were crazy, but we promised there's a bunch of fucking Nazis making cyborgs and shit.
Yeah, the Shocker support group. They're all these survivors of Shocker attacks and stuff, and they formed their own little camaraderie out of the fact that the world thinks they're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say that like Shin Kamen Rider Spirits had the exact right thought process of Hayato Ichimonji is a reporter.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't he tackling this? Like, in any way, shape, or form. His actual profession has been completely meaningless since the first episode he's appeared in.
Yeah,
Did
pretty
you
much.
say he was a reporter? I can't remember. I just remember him saying he was a photographer. But we don't even know if he's a photographer professionally. We only technically know that he does photography.
We actually, so in his first episode, he introduces himself as a freelance photographer in Kamen Rider to the show. It is specifically in Kamen Rider Spirits where he is like a freelance journalist. So I do think that is part of it.
So they evolved the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But like,
I think they saw they had some wasted potential.
The man
there.
snaps pictures for a living.
Right.
Like, how has this not come up?
Because too many of Shocker victims are women.
Yeah.
Hayato doesn't take pictures of women.
He doesn't do women. He said that first episode. That's just... He's got an MO and he sticks to it.
Ever since.
That's the smartest thing Shocker's ever done.
Attack women?
Kidnapping girls.
Because Hayato's not gonna take pictures of them.
But if they have hot husbands, though.
Well, if that they can't go for the husband, because then that's gonna break the story.
Yeah, and also draw Hayato's fucking ire.
Yeah.
That's the problem, is you kidnap a hot husband, and a little pop-up shows up in Hayato's heads up display that says hot singles in your area. Kidnapped by Shocker. 45 miles due east, and he just starts running. It's like when a dog sees a squirrel.
He goes so fast he transforms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just busts through the wall like a Kool-Aid man. I heard there were hot fucking husbands in here. Shocker, give me.
Speaking of ending up on the other side of a wall.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, sure.
Smooth.
Smooth criminal indeed. So Rumiko is outside with a woman. She doesn't get a name.
Presumably her mom, but shrug.
He said something like that was his assistant, wasn't it?
Oh, does he? Yeah, he does say that, doesn't he?
He definitely like she's taking care of Rumiko.
Mm-hmm.
how well she is, let's find out.
Yeah, it's funny, yeah, because they do transition that scene pretty funnily. I since my brain is always obsessed with the greatest movie of all time, Jurassic Park. It immediately sparked that of just like, well, we'll be fine as long as she doesn't go over the fence. Immediate cut to Rumiko about to go over the fence.
Yeah, pretty much. So we cut
Raptors opening the doors, man. We'll be fine.
We cut to Rumiko and this assistant. They're playing badminton. They accidentally hit the... Does anyone else but me know what this thing is called?
I do
Curious
not
to know.
The badminton?
Yeah, the thing they use.
Oh,
is it
the shuttlecock?
Hey, Shakes knows it. Yeah.
The what?
Yeah,
yes,
you know that? Yeah, it's called the shuttlecock.
The shuttlecock.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
Badminton is a hell of a sport.
Mistakes were made.
Why would you call anything a shuttlecock?
Well, you know, it's what they call me on Friday nights.
Sir. This is a Kamen Rider podcast.
Is it?
Yeah, but it's my Kamen Rider podcast. Is the
God
problem.
damn it. I have no power here.
You have some power, don't worry. But yeah, so they accidentally hit the shuttlecock over the fence. The assistant pretty lackadaisically starts looking for it. She kind of just goes over to a nearby bush and starts like parting branches to see if it's in there. Rumiko, deciding to be a bit more proactive, is like, let me just jump over this fence. It's going to be fine. Where she is immediately,
instantly beset.
Like frame one of landing on the other side of the wall gets fucking command grabbed.
Foot hits the ground. Yoink.
Yep. It was some real Looney Tunes shit. She immediately gets scooped up by 2 shocker goons. And there it is. That's our plot. They got her.
Okay. Before we pass this too far, the reason why they call it a shuttlecock is because the shuttle is derived from the back and forth motion of the game of passing back and forth, whereas the cock portion of it is derived from the feathers that they used to use.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Or how they represent the feathers.
So there you go.
There you go.
Today we learned a thing about
it's
badminton.
It's also known as a bird or birdie, if you so wish.
That's cute. I like that.
Oh, that's cute. I actually didn't know that.
I've definitely heard that more. But once you learn shuttlecock,
it's
you
like,
can't unlearn.
yeah, you can't unlearn shuttlecock.
I wish. Help me.
Gotta drink the bleach.
I mean, there's
or smooth out that brain. Get rid of some of them wrinkles.
Well, you could just drink straight up moonshine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Just come on out to Nickel Shot Night at the Cool Hands. We'll make sure you forget a lot.
I mean,
you forget your own name by the time we're done with you.
Oh, for $500 a shot, it better.
Yeah, right?
I want to be a clean slate, like a neonate. I want to forget language by the time I stumble out.
And then you won't remember shuttlecock. Yeah, it's the only way to effectively unremember it.
Exactly.
I want to walk out of the Cool Hands and get startled at the moon.
Speaking of getting startled by things that shouldn't startle you.
So we cut to the Moto Club where our good buddy Goro's got himself a frog. He is handling it poorly, unfortunately.
I gasped here again.
Yeah. Unfortunately he is just kind of holding this frog with like 2 fingers by the foot, and just letting it dangle. When he's looking at his frog, he's checking out his frog, he's playing. He hears the door is opening, and so he quickly packs up his frog, and hides it behind him while trying to read what looks like a very early Shonen Jump, real nonchalantly. It's not his best performance. Which I guess is to say that for the actor, it is a very good performance, in that he does a good job acting like a kid who is trying to be subtle and failing at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, alright, you're nonchalant, stop rubbing our noses in it already. It's very that.
Yeah. So
he's being a cartoon.
So I tried here when I wrote the synopsis. I hope I did not fuck this up. Mari, Yuri, and Himiko?
Hiromi.
God damn it.
It's better than
well, I forgot to.
Fucking, at least I got it was an H. Remembered that. Yeah, it's been a long time since we last saw Hiromi.
I was gonna say not Ruiko.
I mean, that's also true, thank God.
Yeah.
Still employed.
Yep.
Is she?
Every time we think she's not employed...
No, she's overseas.
She's back. No, I meant Hiromi.
Yeah, Hiromi. Is she employed? I think... I have to question the employment status of all 3 of these members of the Writer Girls, honestly. Do they even work here? Do they just kind of chill here? Are they members of the club?
Hiromi has always worked there. the other girls are members and are conceivably paying to be here.
Maybe, yeah. I guess that's fair.
Days.
Yeah.
I miss Shiro.
I miss Shiro.
I miss Shiro too. I'm
so much.
really sad. I'm just so sad that was never mentioned, and how we just sort of noticed at some point he stopped showing up.
Yeah.
And it's a bummer. He was great.
Shiro was the best.
I wish his drop off was at least cleaner. Like when they transitioned to a new store is when he stopped, but he was there for a few episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the worst part for sure.
For Shiro.
Poor Shiro.
Where you at?
I
hope you're having a good time.
Yeah, hope you're doing good wherever you are. Anyway, Mariyuri, Hiromi come in, and they've got themselves some delicious ice cream treats that they've purchased. Unfortunately, they didn't know Goro was here, so they don't have one for him. They say that normally they would treat him, but he is a big boy now, so I guess he's supposed to be used to this kind of treatment. Not really sure what the implication of that line is supposed to be.
You're
but
a
anyway,
big boy, buy your own ice cream.
I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. It's whatever, kid.
Yeah.
We didn't get one for you this time.
Yeah, he's 8.
Suck it.
But Goro, the little rascal that he is, he says, "Don't worry, I've got my own plan for this ice cream situation, 'cause I got this." And he pulls out the frog, and in very, very traditional little kid, younger brother style, he starts terrorizing these poor girls with this frog. He's again, unfortunately, handling it quite poorly. He's still kind of just dangling it by one foot, but he's advancing on the girls, going, "Look, I'm gonna stick it on you. I'm gonna stick it on you. Look at the frog." And so he uses that to chase the ladies out of the room. And then he goes and he sits down and he starts devouring one of these ice creams. I mean, my man was trying to speed run this ice cream tub. I will say that I've enjoyed these two scenes, the one here, and then I don't remember if it was from specifically the Armadillo episode or if it's from the Poison Flower. Oh, it is the Armadillo episode because it's the bit with the pendant. But it's nice to have scenes of Goro kind of acting like a little kid. And interacting with Mari like they are siblings. We're finally starting to get more of that.
I actually noticed that in these past 2 episodes. They had a very... They interacted more in the first place, and Mari was always just kind of like, yeah, very, very fucking stupid little brother.
Yeah.
You kid. They had a banter.
It was nice to see, because I remember way back when Goro was first introduced in the show, and I saw in the synopsis that Goro is supposed to be Mari's little brother, and we were like, what? Really? Okay, if you say so. Because it just didn't, there wasn't any kind of interaction like that to speak of. Really. And it took a while to develop. I mean, good lord. It took until episodes 33 and 34. But here we are now, and we're getting it, and I like it, at least personally.
It's very good.
Yeah. Very happy to see Goro, because, and again, as much as we have praised Goro's, actor for the work that he does, so... he really does sell that kind of, oh, he's just a little kid type of energy with these antics as well. So it's real fun to watch. Yeah, he's just a little rascal.
It's a fun scene. Kind of baffling, I guess, in the moment.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a weird way to...
It felt like it was leading up to a commercial, like an ad in series.
Yeah.
Ad. Like these ice creams were going to be sponsored, and it's just like, these kids will do anything to get their hands on this ice cream.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Like, legit, it is the Klondike bar thing. It's like, what kind of schemes would you pull for your tasty soft serve?
What would this young boy Goro do for a delicious, creamy Klondike bar? I'd put a frog on my sister.
I'd wave that shit around them. He chases them out. It's so comical. This one little frog makes them all go run.
All three of these grown-ass women.
Yeah.
Or maybe
and
they
then
aren't.
all the dudes roll in.
Yeah.
And just eat the ice cream.
Yeah, so can we have these? And then they just eat them.
Yeah, so Tachibana and Taki roll up, brought in by the girls, who are essentially ratting Goro out. Goro, kind of wisely in response to this, he doesn't pull the frog back out, but he's got the frog in this, like, little, container. And so he just takes the frog in the container. He's like, I still got it on me. You know I keep that motherfucking thing on me. You better watch out. And so he drives the girls back. And as he's doing that, Tachibana and Taki are both just like, alright, cool, ice cream. And they just help themselves. They just straight up rob these women of their delicious treat. Which, I mean, like, these look like little, like, 50-cent ice cream cups that you get at the corner store, so it's not like they couldn't get another one. But it is kind of wild that they essentially go call in the cavalry in the form of the two adult males in this situation, and they both go, cool, free ice cream. Especially because, honestly, same.
But it's the principle.
Right, well, I'm gonna take this.
It's the principle of the thing. Like, you know, that ice cream was for me. I don't care how little ice cream it was. I want that ice cream.
Yeah, I feel that.
You took my tasty frozen treat on this hot summer day that I left home to buy.
Even though we have proof later on in the episode that it's October.
I will destroy you.
Yeah, I mean...
within an instant.
Like, it's one of those things, like, I've worked, like, you know, like, the shifts with, like, 6-hour rush hours, and then I'm like, I'm gonna get home and eat some of that food, and when I get there, it's all gone.
Yep.
I'm just like, wow, guess I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah.
I choose violence today.
In lieu of violence, I choose slumber.
Yeah, in lieu of violence, I'm going to go to bed and try not to cry.
No.
I never said that.
Oh, well. In the situations I have been that are like that, that is usually my response.
I just know it'd be in vain.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't actually choose violence. I fuss about it to whoever ate it.
I can't choose violence because there's no, like, dibs system. So I can't be like, hey, I called that. I just kind of have to pray that nobody touched it while I was gone.
I'm pretty sure one of the times it had my name on it.
No, that's fucked up. That's when you choose violence.
Their excuse was like, "I'll get you more, like whatever." And
you should have got more.
To their credit,
before you got home.
To their credit, they did, but like, man.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? Come on, that had my name on it. Not cool.
I wanted that last ice cream.
Last ice cream, and it had your name on it?
Something like that. I don't remember the specifics, but might have been pizza. Something.
That does sound in character.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? The only reason why I think it might not have been pizza is because I'm coming from a pizza place, but...
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Smelling pizza all day, it's kind of hard to work up an appetite for more pizza.
No, I'm saying that I bring home pizza.
Oh.
It wouldn't be waiting.
That's fair.
Pizza doesn't have a chance to wait.
You know what else isn't waiting? Is this phone call that's come in for Taki. I do appreciate this little interaction just very quickly because Mari is the one who gets the phone, and obviously she is still upset because her ice cream has been stolen. So she answers the phone. She holds it out and goes, Taki, the phone's for you. And Taki goes, who is it? And she says, ask him yourself. And he's like, oh, alright. No fear like a woman starved. Got it.
It's pretty good.
Like you had no hand in this, you bastard.
I mean, he knew. That's why he said it. He was just like, alright, that's fair.
The cherry on top of this scene is just how she slaps the ice cream right across the room out of Taki's hands.
Yeah, that's right, she does. She absolutely just, like, launches that thing out of his hand. She's like, fuck you. If I don't get this ice cream, neither do you. And he's just like, damn, alright.
She woke up and chose violence. I'm proud of her.
Yeah. Good job,
but
Mari.
It's okay. Taki doesn't need it because he's got something else sweet on the other side of the phone.
He sure does.
Oh.
And that's his good boy Hayato, who has given him a call from Origuchi's location. I forget exactly what this call was about. I think it was
Frog
just
monster.
to let him know. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's like, hey, just, here's the down low. There's a frog monster on the loose. He was made by Shocker, etc., etc. This actually brings up another thing, just very quickly. Because he mentions Shocker on the phone. I feel like we've talked about this previously, but I don't remember exactly 100%. But everyone here in the Moto Club responds to hearing the name Shocker. So it seems like we are in a situation, just based off of what I've seen and what we see here. I will say, not here as in like in the scene, but later on in the episode. It looks like we are kind of fleshing out the status of people's knowledge, I should say, a little more, in that everyone in the Moto Club seems to know about Shocker, but it does look like the girls don't know about Kamen Rider. But we do actually also see steps of Hayato, like, trying to maintain that secret in this episode as well.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever been in question that the Moto Club knows Shocker.
Yeah.
I
think it's always just been...
Because that's the fact that baffles us most, because they don't realize the guy's fucking Kamen Rider.
Right.
Apparently. And also, I guess it's also just one of those things, they're inconsistently, they don't really have a nose for sniffing out Shocker, but if Hayato's like, this is Shocker, they're kind of like, oh yeah, alright.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We've all been tried to kill, Shocker has tried to kill us all before. We're familiar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember those dudes. Yeah, it's just nice to kind of get a slightly better establishment of the situation, because I do recall in previous episodes it being a little kind of nebulous and up in the air. So it's just nice to start seeing kind of hard facts get established. So yeah,
see how long they last.
Yeah, we'll see how long it lasts. But Hayato calls. He warns them about Shocker and their frog monster. And let me see. Hayato warns them about cellular. Yes, okay. We go back to the facility where Hayato is talking with Origuchi about Rumiko's kidnapping. It is mentioned that Shocker is after a file that Origuchi has that has information on a woman who I don't recall if we get the name of. Do we get the name for this lady? Does anyone remember?
I wrote down what I'd like to refer to her as, but I don't think we have her name.
Alright, hit us with that good new title, B.
I called her Lesbian Witness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is kind of what we settled on.
So yes, this file has
she probably has a name. Who cares? We got the important facts down.
Yeah, we've got what we need to know. So this file has some information on Lesbian Witness, who is someone who at some point in time had an interaction with Shocker. I believe they said she was part of a group of 4 people who were kidnapped by Shocker in the Alps. And so as a result of that interaction that she had with Shocker, she has actually seen what the Shocker leader looks like. But it's either that she's like repressing the memory, or like she has like memory loss or something like that. So she can't just like tell us what he looks like. But it's okay because Mr. Origuchi has a like memory brainwave reader thing device that will
I guess regardless of her ability to remember, they need to see it. They want to see it. They don't want to just have a description.
Right.
They want the raw data, and our brilliant man, our brilliant sci-fi scientist from Star Trek is like, I have a brain scanner and we're gonna get to the bottom of this.
Yep. The dream of D&D players and artists everywhere. He has a device that will just take the image in your head and make it an actual image on the screen.
Wouldn't that be? Yeah.
Right?
Never have to draw again. Oh my god.
What if I could just brain beam all of the art in my brain meat?
But yeah, it's pretty cool. I guess this entire situation is cool because, like we said, this is the episode that has the weirdest, like, long-term ramifications. Mm-hmm. And they don't... Well, they kind of skimp out of it. Spoilers. But they don't fully skimp out on it. They plant a seed and take a step in a direction, which is shocking. Shockering.
I'll give it to you.
I'm sorry.
I wasn't sure if I wanted to give you that one, but I will give it to you.
No, it's bad.
No. I'm giving it to you because it reminds me of sausages, and I like it. Sausages.
I came to terms with it as soon as I said shocking so emphatically.
Yeah.
I was like, that's gonna sound like I was making a pun.
It's fine.
Well,
I'm just genuinely surprised that we made some progress in this serialized television show.
Yeah.
That said, we are a third of the way in.
Yeah, it's about damn time we started making something. Yeah, let's make some sausages.
Go get me some sausages.
I want to see how the sausages is made.
Don't punch
because
Goro.
I want to find out what happened to Shiro.
You think Shiro's out there making sausages?
He left
I
to
just
go...
want to know what happened to him.
Sincerely.
I want to know what happened to this actor. There's no info on him.
Yeah, that's true. He just kind of disappeared, huh?
The only guy with his name runs a sushi place. I don't think it's the same guy.
We could find out.
Yeah, I was going to say, but what if it was?
$10,000 on the Patreon.
So yeah, send us to Japan so we can hunt down one dude.
We can make a bounty for this guy.
Let's make this man uncomfortable.
This man's probably close to 80. If not older. So, for like 4, probably 5 or so people just looking for him from a different country, I'm sure he'd be very happy about that.
Yeah.
Especially.
Or he'd be stressed the hell out that these random foreign nerds came all this way to track him down and succeeded.
Oh dang, you think? You think that's not a good thing to do?
Well, maybe you're wrong. Or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. He could be ecstatic.
There's only one way to find out. You gotta pledge to that Patreon. Whenever it goes up. And it will go up, eventually.
So you know how last episode we were talking about bad advice we give on this podcast? This is definitely some of the worst advice we've given.
What?
Not the Patreon stuff. Not the Patreon stuff. That's good advice.
Tracking down...
Give us money. That's good advice.
Yeah, give us money is good advice. Please give us money. Episodes like...
The only other guy that shares this dude's name is a motorsport photographer who might be dead. But
How convenient.
But it's also not the same dude because this biography I'm reading did not mention that he was in fucking Kamen Rider.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think they would have mentioned that, but
You'd
no,
think it'd come up.
Left Japan. He left Japan a little before Kamen Rider started. So
yeah, well.
Another dead end, but a funny little intersection of motorsport.
Yeah.
That's the alternate timeline version.
Honda Sushi.
Where he was the Kamen Rider.
What was this man's name? This actor's name?
Joe Honda. But yes, I also have Joe's Honda Sushi.
Wait.
I don't know where this is. Oh, it's in Pleasant Hill, California.
Maybe he moves to California and opens a sushi restaurant.
Bro, can I see your manager?
Hey
man, were you in Kamen Rider?
Maybe we don't need $10,000.
Just
no.
Truly giving this 80-year-old Japanese man the fucking Yoda's Knuckles work here treatment.
Yoda's Knuckles work here? Were you in Kamen Rider? No? Okay, bye. No, I don't want to order anything.
You gotta order something at the very least.
This stuff looks pretty good. But it's not Kamen Rider, so
there's something else that looks pretty good in the next scene.
Yeah, so we cut to lesbian witness being assaulted by a frogman.
Yeah, just kind of instantly.
Yeah. I actually think specifically the transition is like, we're looking at a picture of the woman, and then it cuts to the woman screaming as she is assaulted by a frogman.
And also instant is Taki's instant transmission.
Yeah, Taki's here. He's already here. Don't worry about it. So Taki rolls up to rescue this woman. He starts squaring off with Shocker's goons as he is keeping her safe.
Gorgeous poster.
As things are starting to look dire, Taki has been separated from her to fight off some mooks. She's getting rolled up on by the Todiller. Things are starting to look dire for her when who should show up but Hayato with Yuri in tow. He has Yuri go and keep her safe. I think they just run off together, probably towards wherever Taki is, while Hayato squares off with Todiller. And this is the scene I was talking about earlier, where we're kind of more thoroughly establishing that Hayato is trying to keep things a secret, because Hayato has his back to where Yuri and the woman run off to. So initially in this fight, he starts off fighting Todiller as a human, and it is actually not until after they do they swap sides by rolling at each other, I think. Or no. They do the classic Japanese circle around, then they roll at each other, and then they swap sides again. And so after a not insignificant amount of time has passed, and Hayato is in a physical position where he can see that Yuri cannot see him anymore, that is when he finally waits until he transforms. So it's just, it's a little thing, but it is nice to have something that can let us go, oh, okay, see, look, he is actually making steps to keep his identity as Kamen Rider a secret.
For some reason.
For whatever reason, yeah.
Just a small note before we proceed too far. I would like to explain why I call this character Lesbian Witness.
Yeah, we should get into it.
Mm-hmm. So obviously she's called Witness because she was the person who witnessed the Shocker leader firsthand. Is the only person who has done so. The reason I call her Lesbian Witness is during her introductory scene, when we first see her getting accosted by this textured toad man. She appears to be in a bedroom, obviously, presumably her own bedroom, because no one else is there. We see a picture on the wall, like a poster. It is kind of this saucy poster of a woman in this kind of racy white outfit.
It's real nice.
It's very nice. I was like, I don't know. It was very much, I believe my exact words when the scene came up were "ma'am."
Yeah, it was either like "ma'am" or "oh really."
Maybe both.
Huh. Yeah, this lady's like, it's an artsy photograph. It's not like, it's not supposed to be cheesecakey per se.
Yeah.
But
she has kind of a tattered dress kind of thing going on. It's a model photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it definitely carries a certain energy.
Arms exposed, head to the side, one leg exposed. Yeah, and this...
But it's clear they're spread.
Mm-hmm.
This is 1971 in Japan, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
This lady ain't Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. Definitely not a Japanese woman in this photo.
So this is... I don't know. I'm happy to take this as our lesbian witness.
Yeah.
This is a little bit more of a stretch as well, but there does seem to be another photo on the wall of, it's a framed black and white photo of what looks to be another woman.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take that as a couple's photo.
Fair.
Until proven
Man,
otherwise.
this girl just loves the ladies.
Hey. Fucking me and her both.
Yeah. She would never disappoint the ladies.
Oh, ladies.
And we shouldn't disappoint the ladies who listen to this podcast. So let's continue. But thank you very B for that. I think there's like one or two. I mean, Shakes, you listen to this podcast sometimes, right?
I tried once.
Couldn't get into it.
Ladies.
Look, I warned you not to start with an episode that's 4 hours, but you didn't believe me.
Listen. I had to catch up.
Did you?
I still haven't finished.
Okay.
Nah, real?
I've also been busy.
Oh, for real? You didn't have 4 hours?
You didn't have 4 free hours to just burn?
Listen, I did. I just did other things.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Ladies, if you're listening, DM us at First Ride Pod.
And tell us what you want to see on the Patreon.
Wow. That's the most me energy anything B Drops has said has ever had. Proud of you.
What? Wait a second.
I have never begged anyone to slide into the DMs.
Wait. Was that what that sounded like? It was more of an invitation, but...
Yeah, I mean, it was the DMs are open. I'm sure it's not the only thing.
What? You know what else is open? A lot of the summary for the... Damn it, that didn't really work. Let's keep going.
So yes, Hayato turns into the Kamen Rider. He fights off, Shocker and their goons, while, we make sure that this woman is taken, to safety. As the Shocker folk are running off, they've decided to make a tactical retreat. One of them gets intercepted by our boy Taki, who's about to get back into his fucking core competency. By that, which I, of course, mean disguising himself as a Shocker grunt and breaking into a Shocker base. I really appreciate...
Truly his favorite activity.
Yeah, truly. It's his baseball. It's Taki's #1 pastime. I appreciate this whole bit, though, because it's just Todiller leading a bunch of Shocker goons, single file, to where the Shocker base is, and it's just like, Taki plucks out, like, the last one in line, and then follows up as, like, pretending to be that guy later on. But it was real fun watching this Frogman and these other Shocker mooks just kind of jog to this Shocker base single file. This is probably one of the most unique entrances to a Shocker base we've ever gotten.
Yeah, they had an idea.
Yeah, they did. It was real neat. I actually super dug it. So there's this, like, floating platform that is out on the water. It's real conspicuous. It's got the big Shocker eagle on top of it, not like a statue of one, but like a little drawing at the top part of like a doorway. It's got, the Shockeries on it, all that. So it's real conspicuous. And so they all kind of pile into this platform, which the front door is just like a curtain, which I appreciated. And then once everybody gets into the little platform that is floating on the water, we see that platform that is floating begins to sink down underneath it. And that takes us to, I guess, where our Shocker base is. I don't know if that's like a transport to the Shocker base or if that's just like an entrance, and they use that as a mechanism to hide the entrance or what, but it was just a neat little concept.
It's a cute effect because they have it on a full-sized little pond. Mm-hmm. And it's just this little thing, and it clearly is not holding their weight very well as it immediately is like tilting as 3 people enter it. But then it floats out, and then it cuts to a model shot where they made a tiny version of it to just fill up with water and capsize itself.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's cute.
Yeah,
it's a nice little practical way of doing a little thing. Has no real reason to, but hey, we're doing a fun show with fun, out-of-this-world characters and organizations. We might as well do something weird.
Yeah, exactly. It was real nice too, especially because a lot of times when we break into shocker bases, we don't necessarily explain how we get into the shocker base, or if we do, it is just like, here is a cave in a mountain, here is a cave underground, here is some form of cave set with a shocker door.
Yeah, they were like, they really made it like kind of like they remembered, like, oh, we're like a superhero show, and like supervillains have secret bases that are outside the realms of reality. Let's try to emulate that.
Yeah.
with this Legion of Doom
swamp base. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, so Taki gets in as a shocker grunt. They go to the main shocker room where we see Rumiko on the classic shocker operating table. I believe an alarm goes off, which prompts them to be like, all right, go put the girl in prison and go tend to that alarm. As everyone is kind of scrambling off, Taki uses that as a chance to intercept the one grunt that is left in the room and rescue Rumiko. And then we see the thing that has triggered the alarm, which is the fact that the Kamen Rider has, at some point in time, somehow infiltrated this base. So Taki and Kamen Rider are together now, and so they both kind of break their way out of the base. My favorite thing about this is that because, Taki and Kamen Rider are both together and they need to get out of a shocker base quickly, especially one that we know is underwater, which means in order to get out, we're going up. And that means the return of our best friend, the bubble wrap ceiling.
Yeah.
It had been so long since we got this effect again. I was very happy.
We all clapped.
Yeah.
Clap when you see it.
Clap when you see it.
Bubble wrap ceiling.
The boy. But yeah, I personally was just really super happy to get the bubble wrap ceiling back. And I believe from there we jump straight back to Origuchi's office, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. Yes, because pretty much my next note after Taki's only successful infiltration is Scientist Dad is in the prop room for a different show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's in his lab. He, I guess, is like about to start penning a letter, it seems like, to try and reveal Shocker's existence to the world and what their plan is. When we see, at this bit I thought was really cute. It's just, he's in there and he's working, and we see the door open, and Rumiko kind of just like pokes her head in and is like, "Hey Dad, what you doing?" And he's like, "Rumiko, is that you?" And everybody else comes in, and he reunites with his daughter, and it's real cute. And then we see, I believe it is Yuri, rides up in a car where she has Lesbian Witness with her. And so we bring Lesbian Witness into the facility, and we get her hooked up to Origuchi's kind of, memory brainwave reader device. And we kind of start walking her through her memories of being in a shocker base. And sure enough, Origuchi's device works, so we get a video of this woman. She found herself awake in a shocker base. She starts kind of snooping around, trying to figure out what's going on, until eventually she stumbles upon a door where she hears someone on the other side giving orders, and people referring to the man giving those orders as leader. She does not open the door, but she peeks in through like a crack in the door. And that is where we are, where we are going to try and get our image of the shocker leader. However, unfortunately, at least this is how I personally interpreted this bit, and y'all feel free to weigh in your own opinions on it. But I decided, just basically kind of off of what they say later on in the episode as well, that the stress of the situation, both being in the base and probably even the situation there at Origuchi's facility, and how scary and dangerous these memories were, etc., causes the woman to kind of freak out a little bit, which unfortunately kind of blows out the machine, and so they are not able to get a clear view of what the Shocker leader looks like. I don't know if
we get a little bit.
Yeah,
he's got eyebrows.
He got hella eyebrows.
Maybe through. He's got hella eyebrows that might be poking through a mask himself.
Mm-hmm.
There's a piece of the puzzle. Is there?
Yeah, we got something.
I think it's rather interesting that her memories are not in first person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got camera angles.
Not for a narrative reason, just it's fun to
They just want to shoot it differently.
Yeah.
Hey, sometimes your memories be like that.
This was the 70s. Cameras were really heavy.
Yeah.
Speaking of memories.
Honestly, you have a little bit.
Now I realized her name was Kinoko.
Oh.
Ah.
Whoops. My memory was faulty
Lesbian
as well.
witness.
Hey,
That's her boss subtitle. Lesbian witness. Kinoko.
Oh god, that health bar.
Orchestra music
She's
starts
too
playing.
powerful.
So while unfortunately we are not able to get a good clear image of the Shocker leader, we do get some information that is very useful, because we find out that the Shocker leader has commanded that someone go to the quote-unquote secret airfield in Japan, where they are going to deliver a nuke at 3 p.m. on October 10th. And it is revealed by our characters in the show that today is October the 10th. Don't worry about what time this episode aired, kids. Don't worry about it. It's October the 10th, we swear. And so, Hayato and Taki head off, they find out that today is the 10th, and so, they are getting ready to, spring into action when, an alert from the, facility's security, system lets them know that Todiller is back with some Shocker grunts, and they are trying to break in. So they go to get our lesbian witness and Rumiko to safety, while Taki and the Kamen Taki and Hayato go with the others to get lesbian witness and Rumiko to safety. Mr. Oguchi is like, I've got a security system set up in here. I'm going to use that to try and prevent Todiller from getting in. This is a nice little bit, at least I thought. Just because, this dude's got, as we alluded to earlier in the episode, this dude's got, traps just in his base. It's neat to see someone with a defense system and using it against Shocker. So, we get a scene where Todiller is trying to go down a hallway and he gets cut off because he's got this, wall-mounted flamethrower thing that Todiller jumps over. And we see another scene where it looks like he's, blasting off, little... I mean, they're clearly, they look like fireworks, sort of. Kind of like Roman candles.
Yeah, just like bottle bottle rockets.
You hear that, though? He jumps.
Yeah.
Over it.
Yeah.
He does.
This was head height.
Yes.
6 foot vertically. He was just being sensitive because the Shocker goons couldn't jump.
Yeah, obviously.
He was being a good
He wanted his boys to help.
To be fair,
Also
he is in this room alone.
Not to lean
this
on
time not.
Not to lean on this reference too much, but I just find it very amusing for very dumb reasons that the time we have an episode where the enemy looks like Admiral Akbar, he does actually have to navigate through traps.
Yeah, that's fair, huh? I didn't even think about that. But yeah, it's.
I can't
Explain
believe
yourself,
Return of the
Spielberg,
Jedi Apes
Spielberg.
Kamen Rider.
I can't.
No. Well, okay. You know what? No, I'll let you have that one. Steven Spielberg, creator of Star Wars. Got it.
Yeah, I remember when Spielberg made Star Wars. I was right there. I was like, "Damn, Steve, this shit's fucking wild, my dude." And he said, "Why is a black talking to me?"
What? Wow.
I don't even know if Spielberg is racist. I apologize, Mr. Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg does.
If you're not super racist, Steven Spielberg, we're sorry. If you are super racist,
Get at me.
I don't know, eat a rock.
Yeah.
Kamen Rider.
Anyway.
Amazingly baseless accusations of Steven Spielberg.
I'm sure you're a fine person.
Yeah, I'm sure Steven Spielberg is great. You know who's not great is this fucking frogman Todiller on account of he's a Nazi. But he's pretty good at navigating traps. So he's unfortunately able to get past Oguchi's traps. He busts into the room where he is. This is where, as we alluded to earlier, or well, just outright said earlier, unfortunately Origuchi gets gassed. And then this next part I kind of enjoy, because we see Origuchi goes to like one of his cabinets, and he grabs a bunch of papers that he's trying to protect. And so obviously he drops these when the gas knocks him unconscious, I guess, shrug. And so Todiller just kind of picks up these papers, and we see him do like a flick of the wrist, and then the papers catch fire. Because apparently that's a thing that Todiller can do. Is he can just set shit on fire.
It's his party trick.
Yeah.
It goes and just bursts into flame.
I do appreciate it that, like, obviously for safety reasons is why they did it, but the fire starts away from Todiller's hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he shot the far corner.
Yeah.
He did that thing that Drebin did. He just flicked his fingers and lit a cigarette.
Yeah.
God.
He did his fun little magic trick.
It's great.
But put on a piece of paper. I guess the scientist man wanted to run with those. I don't think he thought that one
Maybe,
through.
yeah, I don't know. The point is, those papers are no more.
For someone with all the plans, that man did not think through what would happen if this got into his office.
Yeah, that's fair.
Why'd you let Kamen Rider leave?
You know, that actually brings up a good point. Because he mentions that he needs Hayato, and more specifically that he needs Kamen Rider, but I don't know if it's ever actually established at any point that he knows that Hayato is the Kamen Rider. I wonder if it's maybe that like he knows that Hayato knows the Kamen Rider, or maybe I don't know. I think there are a couple of ways that could be interpreted.
Quick, go get Kamen Rider.
I feel like it's heavily implied by the way he addresses Hayato that he is aware, but
yeah,
I guess you could be right. He doesn't technically say, "I know you're Kamen Rider, help me."
Yeah, there's nothing that gives us any like real context for that relationship at all. But then sometimes that just sort of happens in this show. What we don't need context for though is this next bit, because Taki and Kamen Rider, they're gonna fight some shocker goons, and they're gonna fight some shocker monsters, and it's real good. Hayato gets a sword. He murders a bunch of people. Taki gets a shocker gun and a side headlock takeover, and then just kind of rolls down the hill with him, and then he's gone for the rest of the scene.
Romantic.
We get a very fun bit where Todiller somehow escapes, and so Hayato is pursuing him on his motorcycle, and we cut to the secret airfield where we see a plane land. We see fucking Proto Colonel Zol come out of the plane with a shocker goon, and he's like, "Here's the nuke. This is what we're going to use for this plan. Make sure that you transport it carefully." I extra appreciate the scene because Todiller just rolls up in a van.
I forgot about his van.
It's
big white
personal van.
It's just a van-ass van. It's just an all-white van.
It's just what he takes to the beach.
Yeah.
He throws the surfboards on top and he just goes.
It's fucking great.
Maybe he camps out in it. It's very multi-purpose.
Yeah. So Todiller rolls up in the van. He goes to collect the nukes and start getting the plan moving. And Kamen Rider just kind of, there's this great shot of like Todiller as he's like ordering for the bomb to get loaded into the van, and we just like see from far away down the runway Hayato on the Cyclone just kind of riding up until he rides through the pack of people. It's I enjoyed the scene because it kind of has that same energy as like that scene in Monty Python and the Holy Grail where is it Galahad? Yeah, where he's running at the castle.
I think that's Lancelot.
Yeah, it's either Galahad or Lancelot, but where he's running at the castle, or the fucking, you know, when they do that same joke in fucking Kung Pao. It's very much that energy of just like watching this dude come running at you from like a mile away.
Wonder who that is.
Yeah, who's that? Oh!
I want that idea. I want this scene combined with that other scene from Kinokomorg with where they have the camera cut of Hayato riding in on the motorcycle and then just coming in from out of frame and shocker goon.
Yeah, that would be so good.
Just coming in from a distance repeatedly and then suddenly just we got some good ease in this.
Yeah, we did actually. Yeah, we don't talk about it as much, but both of these episodes really do give us some quality ease.
The next episode definitely has more, and we'll get to that.
Yeah, the next episode specifically has some real good sauce for us. But yeah, so he interrupts this meeting. Protozolg and the Chakra Commando he is with, they try to escape. After, you know, watching all of his Shocker Grunts get beaten, Todiller decides to escape with them. So, you know, they all get in the plane, and they ride off.
I have a theory.
Tell me your theory
about Protozol. Well, I don't think it's the same. I don't think it's just Zol with no eye patch.
It's definitely not.
Even though that would be. I think it's the same costume.
Oh, for sure.
And the guy doesn't fit.
Yeah, no, he does not.
He doesn't. It looks pretty baggy on him.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that this doesn't quite fit.
You throw this fake mustache on. You're a new colonel. We need a new colonel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's just the coffee guy.
Hey, he did his lines well enough at least.
Yeah. They dubbed him.
Maybe.
So, I also want to point out this guy says that this bomb is strong enough to rip Japan into two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess we never went over their plan.
Yeah.
The idea of that is there's a very specific fault line that they have sussed out. Mm-hmm. Shocker's like, if we blow this point here, Japan's gonna get fucking rocked on both sides. Yep. It's just gonna go crazy, and you know when everybody's gonna be panicking, and we'll be able to fly in and and take over the place. Whatever. Don't worry. Don't sweat the details. We will establish ourselves as a superpower in the ensuing chaos.
Yeah, because... you know how Shocker does.
I mean, to be fair, as strange and wild as it sounds. In vague terms, that is kind of something that happens to the country in real life. It got bombed, it fell into disarray, and people came in and were like, we're kind of in charge now.
Yeah. The idea is sound.
Yeah.
It's been used in plenty of other coups throughout history. Ensuing chaos and then installing whatever point of power and taking over the main government is a thing. It exists. It happens. Maybe not to the scale of we're going to split Japan in two.
The reason why I bring that up is because, if they're being literal here, you're gonna probably need something that has, some cursory Google searching, you're probably gonna need something that has, 178 gigatons of power.
Well, that's why they're using a nuke.
That's the thing, is that is insanely big. Because I was like doing some research on earthquakes and what would happen just as we were talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
And SARS Bombo, the biggest bomb ever created, I think, was supposed to have 100 megatons.
We're talking gigatons.
Yeah.
They really packed it in tight in that little briefcase.
Which is just like,
yeah.
my guys.
No. You see, it's a weak point.
Yeah, that's why
they don't need a big explosion.
Even still,
it's gonna cause a chain reaction.
There's a reason that you attack the weak point for massive damage.
You don't understand. It's their brilliant master.
Yeah, come on. Are you trying to say that you're smarter than a Shocker scientist?
I'm smarter than Shocker, yes. This cursory Google search
Are
proves
you
that...
smarter than a fascist?
Yeah.
With Jeff Foxworthy.
This cursory Google search says that if you're gonna be splitting roads in two, that's not a good idea. It's really not. You're gonna create, like, tsunamis, if not mega tsunamis as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the chaos they were talking about. Yeah.
I think they're gonna have a little bit more of an issue than just some chaos.
No, they'll be fine.
Take over our underwater kingdom with our underwater cyber.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Well, we won't have to.
It'll be Shocker Neo Hokkaido and Shocker Atlantis. 2 new branches.
Yeah.
But as one might guess, that plane will not work, not so long as Kamen Rider is around. But right now, these cowardly fascists, it seems like they might get away. They've hopped into a plane, they've already taken off. Well, what's our good buddy Hayato gonna do? He can't fly, can he?
No, jump.
No,
good.
yeah, jump good. So Hayato, he's still on the Cyclone. He revs that bad boy up. He gets the top speed. He jumps off of the bike, and he fucking shoulder checks the wing of this plane so hard that he tears right through it. And that does so much damage that the plane explodes.
Yeah.
This
and
bit
somehow
rules.
The bomb is fine. I think we never see it again.
Well, what do you think exploded?
I assume.
I guess they
nuke.
rocked out. Not the nuke, probably. I don't know.
No, it's got to be the nuke.
No, they just left it.
Yeah, that's just what nukes look.
Yeah. I love this.
Yeah, no, he left the nuke in the wreck. Just never looked at it again.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, not my problem.
I love this bit because, as one might expect, we are using a model plane for the footage of the plane in the air, which means we gotta use a model Kamen Rider. So you just watch this toy of a Kamen Rider kind of slowly fly in from out of screen and just bust through this plane. It fucking rules.
It's incredible.
It's one of those moments where if you don't watch any of the rest of the episode, please go watch that. Because it's fucking great.
I'll even give you a timestamp. Just 22 minutes on the dot.
That's all you need.
For over to the first 10 seconds of that minute. There you go. That's all.
And with that, our shocker plan for this episode is thwarted. We cut back to the end of the episode where Goro is releasing the frog he caught. I appreciate this because instead of like any kind of like a teary goodbye or anything, it's kind of just Goro talking to the frog being like, it's probably best that you and I go our separate ways.
It's like they're partners in crime.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we gotta separate. It was good working with you.
It's, again, unfortunately, we get a scene of animals not getting treated great, because Goro...
B was begging this scene not to happen.
And then it happened anyway.
I was literally sitting there begging, please don't throw it, please don't throw it, please don't throw it, god damn it.
Yep.
In fairness, at least it was a toss.
Yeah.
There's part of me that thought Goro was gonna throw it like a baseball.
I'll throw him like a baseball.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Poor little guy, he's been abusing this little thing all day, kept it stuck in a Tupperware, and then he just throws it into the lake.
I'm gonna destroy you, Goro.
Yeah, Goro, we love you, but you are not immune. You will be annihilated if so needed.
We talk about beating up kids for cheeseburgers last episode.
Yeah.
How many cheeseburgers for Goro?
At least 3. If only because I know he's going to pull up a fight.
Well, there you go.
He looks like a biter. He looks like he'd bite you.
Oh.
He will pummel, and I think he did bite someone that one time he was going at
Probably.
it. He's throwing hands.
I appreciate this bit also because so Goro gets rid of the frog, and Maria's like, good, I'm relieved. Now we can eat our ice cream in peace. And immediately cuts to Goro being like, oh, you think so, huh? And he runs.
You think you're safe.
And then he runs over to Rumiko and is like, hey, Rumiko, let's go catch some more frogs. And Rumiko's like, I don't like frogs.
Rumiko's like, I don't know you.
I got kidnapped by a frog yesterday. I don't really feel like partaking in this.
Yeah, let's maybe not. Also, here at the end of the episode, we kind of reveal the fates of Lesbian Witness and Oraguchi, in that it seems, unfortunately, because of everything that has happened, they've both lost their memories of kind of what has happened and Shocker and all of that, which, Hayato's like, for both of you, that's, probably kind of for the better. Kind of Oraguchi from a standpoint of, like, not knowing about Shocker will keep you safe from them. Lesbian Witness more so from a standpoint of, like, maybe it's good that you don't have to continually relive these dark and stressful memories that you had of, this ordeal that you had to go through.
Yes, sure.
Mm-hmm.
We're, like, on that note, yeah, there were 2 things that stuck out to both of us, or all of us, really, or at least there's one thing for sure. It was like, is keeping this guy safe a better priority than actually getting him back up to speed and having him help you? Because honestly, this guy seemed really useful.
Yeah, incredibly competent.
He gave us our first step into figuring out the mystery of Shocker.
Yeah.
Nobody else has done this. Nobody else has come close to giving this kind of information.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, I can understand both fields of logic, because, yeah, this dude was insanely useful, and being able to have him around and have him still have his memories of Shocker and have him be able to, like, continue to help would obviously be fantastic, because he's easily one of the most useful, like, non-main cast members we've ever had. But also, at the same time, I understand where Hayato's coming from, where it's like, you let me take care of Shocker. Taking care of Shocker is my job. You guys are just civilians. It's more important to me that y'all are safe than that y'all are useful.
Yes. To that point, though, my second issue. Mm-hmm. Who's to say that Shocker will go by the same logic you're going by and be satisfied that they have amnesia? Like, there's surviving members of the command. The leader is still alive. Like, Shocker knows these 2 are alive and have witnessed things. Mm-hmm. Who's to say they won't just finish the job later? Especially Lesbian Witness, who saw their leader's face.
Yeah, I will certainly give you that for Lesbian Witness. As far as with Oraguchi, this seems like it was the plan all along, maybe? So...
Maybe. The silly gas does seem to give you brain damage.
Yeah, so I feel like Oraguchi, at the very least, is in the clear, but I definitely see where you're coming from as far as lesbian witness, and the fact that they might go after her again. I don't know. That's one of those time will tell sort of things, by which, of course, I mean time will almost assuredly not tell, because we're definitely never going to see this woman again.
Yeah, we're not seeing these people again, and they're not thinking that far ahead as far as plotline goes. The idea of repressed memories coming back and someone wanting to have a contingency for that probably didn't occur to people much in the 70s.
I don't know how often it occurs to people writing shows in the now, if we're being honest. So yeah, that definitely seems like one of those, kind of wishful thinking, let's say, a little bit there.
Add some spice and flavor to the plot.
It would absolutely add a lot of spice and flavor to the plot, but I'm sure they'll find a way to make the plot spicy enough. That being said, that takes us through episode 34. Does anyone have any kind of closing thoughts or anything about this episode as we kind of get to revving into that ad break?
This episode was wild.
Yeah.
Just an absolute joy to watch.
Yeah, this was a real standout episode for sure. Probably, yeah, honestly, I'd say probably one of the best Hayato episodes of the ones we've watched, which is a heck of a thing to say, because we've gotten a lot of Hayato episodes, but there was just like so much to latch onto with this episode.
It was real solid. I mean, the stuff with the civilians was generally kind of barely anything. I guess if I had one main criticism for it, but otherwise it was a good time.
Yeah.
Please be nice to frogs.
Yeah.
We beg of you.
It's all we want. I mean, it's not all we want, but it's one of the main things we want. That being said, with that, we are going to go ahead and take a quick break and go into some ads, and we will be right back with more of the episode after this.
Hello, everyone. Are you enjoying the show? This is B-Drops here to give you a little information during our break. If you'd like to keep up with the latest news about longtime watcher, first-time rider, you can follow our official Twitter at FirstRidePod. If you'd like to keep up with what the rest of us are doing, please do consider following us on Twitter as well. You can find King Fats the 95th at KingFats95. You can find the Magical Whale Gopher at Whale Gopher. You can find Action Shakespeare at That Gal in the Hat. And you can find me at B-Drops Art. Thank you so very much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
Okay, there we go. Thank you for deciding to cooperate, Firefox. Holy shit, there's a plot on this one! Whoa! I didn't even look!
Whoa.
Welcome back, everybody.
There's no better way to start up.
Yeah, really,
that.
I'm ecstatic. I just started making the fucking... I just made mine. I assumed... Oh, this is great.
Yeah, now we gotta know.
Wonderful.
Now we gotta know how it's summarized by the official wiki nerds.
So yeah, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the ads. We're gonna get right into it with episode 35, The Killer Queen Ant, Alchemedes. This episode aired on... Hey, it's, fucking... Give thanks, miss. November 27th, 1971.
Well, that's very fitting.
Yeah.
As the first thing that Shocker does in this episode is hatch the gobbledygooker.
Yeah. Yeah, sure shit. Plot starts off, Shocker cyborg Alchemedes successfully hatches from an ant's egg. Colonel Zoll decides to test her power by sending her to a bank, where she kills 2 guards and destroys a vault with her red formic acid. Oh my god, it's all here!
Oh my god.
It's beautiful.
Christmas miracle.
Yeah.
This is like to whomever. Happy. There might be a little tears in my eyes.
This is weirdly nostalgic, isn't it?
Yeah.
A little
right?
bit.
Yeah.
It takes me back.
I don't know if I'm gonna cry about it, but it is
nice.
I'm
gonna cry a little just because like this represents a lot of like hard work that I maybe don't have to do anymore.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood. Absolutely.
We'll have to see. I do think we should maybe be the change we want to see in the world.
Yeah, that's true.
Perhaps.
Since you're doing the work already.
Yeah, I probably had to get on. But yeah, I mean,
For the next person who wants to do a Kamen Rider podcast, we should probably supply the summaries to the wiki.
Yeah.
In another 50 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that covers the opening of this whole episode. I guess we'll get into what Alchemedes looks like. I actually really liked this suit particularly. I don't know how I necessarily feel about the head itself, but the rest of the suit looks really good. At least that was my personal opinion on it. It's a lot more. Like, you can see it more. Here, I want to show you guys this picture that's on the wiki, because you can see it a lot more here in this picture than you could in the actual episode. But it's like black with kind of like red accents on it that I really like.
Yeah, I understood that much.
Yeah, but so you see in this particular picture, like the red really pops.
I got
in that particular.
Go ahead.
In that particular picture, I really do like it.
It's in motion a lot, so you don't really get a great look at it.
Yeah, there aren't too many shots of Alchemedes kind of just like standing around posing. I will say that Alchemedes is a pretty proactive shocker kaijin. She's kind of just like always doing stuff.
I gotta have a couple words about one aspect of this design. That I hope doesn't ruin it for you.
Okay.
She's got poison udders.
You better fucking believe she does.
Yeah.
And
just goes.
She's got a very Mothra-like head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
that's a Mothra face.
It's a little bit too fashy and a little bit like too hard. But yeah, I see it.
Yeah, absolutely. She's fascist colored and not our beautiful benevolent queen, but she
love you, Mothra.
Love you, Mothra. Happy 60th birthday, Mothra. I love you.
Killing the game. Even at 60.
No matter how many times she dies, she just comes right back.
Beautiful as ever.
But I do like all the bug parts on this on our queen ant, like even these little ridges that she's got going down like the outsides of her forearms. They kind of really try to mimic little tiny aesthetic pieces of bug anatomy in some ways, and I like it.
Yeah.
I only think it's a shame that like King Fat said, there's some like detailing on the suit that unfortunately is kind of really hard to see a lot of the time. Like even in like the natural lighting outside, half the time it's just too dark.
And I think when it's not too dark, it's almost like the colors are desaturated from it.
A little bit.
Because the picture that King Fat's linked has it very vibrant, and like the blue on the eyes really pop.
Yeah, I was double checking a couple of these shots. They are definitely not that saturated.
Yeah, this is like a matte aquamarine. Sorry, not aquamarine, just ultramarine. Which sadly doesn't do it favors like it does in that still.
I'm going to assume that so whatever source they watched Kamen Rider from for these wiki pictures, I can definitely see looks quite different from Shout Factory. And
yeah,
I think Shout Factories is a much higher quality. Like, it's a much crisper, sort of looking.
Yeah, I think they got, like, the reels, the genuine reels.
Yeah. Whereas I don't know what sort of, like, DVDs or VHS rips or whatever that people had to work with for wikis.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even Blu-ray rips. I'm sure they've been on Blu-ray.
Granted, if it was Blu-ray, I think it'd be closer to the Shout Factory quality.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing's saying it has to be a good Blu-ray.
I'm not paying for a bad Blu-ray, is what I'm saying.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Also, I can't believe I didn't notice until now that Colonel's All opens this episode with a little ant patch.
Wait, what?
Look at the
He's got
picture. He's got a
a
little
ant
ant
patch.
patch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he doesn't open the episode, but
Well, yeah, but
when he does appear, he does have the iconography.
Oh yeah, look at that.
How delightful.
Yeah, it's very good. And the suit
Anyways,
is very
we've hatched the gobbledygook.
Yeah, now that we've hatched the gobbledygooker, and she has done some shit to some. I will say as nice as it is that the synopsis goes over everything here, or the little plot thing on the wiki goes over everything here. I don't think it gives the murder of these two guards its due diligence, because these dudes fucking melt. And it is we get a great visual effect of one guy gets hit with the acid, and we get like a little toy that gets like covered with an acid and like melts and dissolves, and it is a great visual effect.
Yeah, much like the ant eater, who did derive their power from the ants.
Yeah,
I guess to do his venom. A very similar effect is employed as she pulls those udders and squirts her terrible poison upon these poor guards.
I have to say, we actually get a lot of really good special effects like throughout this whole episode. Really, they do a lot of good stuff with the special effects work, with maybe the exception of the ants that show up later in the episode. We can
you do what you can.
Yeah, exactly. I did have a little Discord oopsie there, so I do want to ask, did we talk about the laugh at all, and if so, do we want to?
No.
Not yet.
We
absolutely need to.
At some point we do.
Do
really
we want to
important.
just tackle it now?
It is one of the first notes I wrote down.
That's fair.
She sounds like such a buffoon.
I am so upset about the fact that you can say that her laugh is fucking SpongeBob-esque. Like it's not quite there, but it's real close sometimes.
It's that secondary laugh Tom Kenny does. It's not the straight
Yeah.
one. I can't do it all that good. I'd have to I'd have to get the Adam's apple and just yank it. But
crunch it.
Yeah. It's fine. It all works. But there's that like secondary one he does, like kind of like the
Yeah.
But I think just saying yuck.
I mean, really, yeah. Very yuck. That's the worst part. It's never the.
It's kind of it. Yeah, it tumbles.
Yeah,
that laugh tumbles around a few different interpretations.
It's like she's trying shit out.
No, that doesn't sound right. How about this?
It's like she knew there were gonna be other ant queens, and she was like, well, the only way they're gonna differentiate us is our laugh, so I gotta get this shit down packed. It's like she's practicing a signature. It is absolutely a highlight. This is one of those few episodes where I'd say fuck it, just go watch the whole episode just so you can hear all the different ways this ant woman laughs, because they are all fucking choice.
She's a delight.
tempted to make a compilation if Shout Factory isn't like super protected by from like me just recording.
That's fair. Yeah, just the compilation of her laughing would be great. Who knows? Maybe
if you don't do it, then I certainly could.
And
as well.
maybe if we're lucky, someone's already done it. We'll see.
We'll dig.
Yeah, maybe be on the lookout for that. But going forward, this does skip a little bit here, or well, actually, it just kind of moves it around. All right, that's fine. So moving forward on the plot thing here, Kazuya Taki intercepts unusual radio waves and decides to investigate, followed by Kamen Rider. He arrives at a mansion, the source of the radio waves. There, Shocker Grunts are installing a death ray device to protect the building from intruders. So this is...
They're anti-pigeon laser.
Yeah, they're anti-pigeon laser. So yeah, the actual footage of the episode doesn't quite follow this exact timing. We essentially, in the footage, we cut to after Ant Queen, bust into the vault. We cut straight to this abandoned mansion that is like weirdly covered in spider webs. Wasn't sure what that was about for the whole episode, but whatever.
Sold.
But
it's a secret.
Yeah.
It's a Doom house.
Doom house.
A Doom house.
Oh, a Doom house, eh?
This house doesn't even have furniture.
Doom house. All right. Got that out of my system.
Good. So Shocker has this like laser defense grid thing that they have set up, and so the Shocker Grunts who are out there and are checking to make sure it works are feeling pretty confident about things. When Colonel Zoll shows up and he's like, "Hey, now don't y'all get too fucking cocky. This is still the Kamen Rider we got to deal with, and he's gonna be real wily. So make sure you're keeping your head on a swivel, basically." And then
they all respond with a resounding
yeah. I do appreciate the scene because then like he gives that speech and then he just stops and then randomly grabs one of the Shocker Grunts' knives and throws it into a nearby tree, where we see a white shoed foot kind of just retract up into the boughs and kind of scramble off. And Colonel Zoll's like, "I thought so. There's somebody who was watching us. Go on high alert." And so our Shocker Grunts decide they're going to patrol, and then maybe after that they'll go to Wooby Woo Stays.
And then the caution meter goes up and the music starts playing.
Yeah.
But I always love this. I love this scene because it really represents my favorite dynamic of Shocker Goon stuff, where they're just guys. Because they're all having a conversation with each other. They're all just palling around in the front of the yard. It's like, "Hey, this laser is pretty cool. Yeah, we're going to have a real good day, a real easy time. Yep." And then, but also, they go at their boss.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate the bit where I think Zola's like off screen and says something, or he's like just coming on screen, and so everyone has to go to attention and salute real quick. And so there's the one guy in the background who is saluting past Zol. And
I love it, because Zola's like 3 inches away from them while he's talking to them, so his arm is just extended out. He could just reach around for a hug at any time.
He could.
But he won't.
If he's brave enough.
Because Zol don't roll like that. He doesn't have the bravery.
Oh, no. He's not honest with himself.
Yeah, he's not man enough to hug another man. Step it up, Zol.
We'll only accept mighty warriors who will accept their true feelings.
Yeah. So we, as the plot kind of alludes to, it is revealed that the foot that we saw climb up into the tree belongs to one Kazuya Taki. He's here to do FBI shit. And who would intercept Kazuya Taki when he's doing his FBI shit? But again, as the plot kind of advises, Ol Hayato. I am sad that the plot doesn't mention that Taki gets scolded. Taki,
but he sensed things with his radio waves.
Yeah. Taki was not expecting Hayato to show up. And when Hayato does, he gives old Taki a little earful about how Taki just ran off without him, and how that's not cool. So Hayato went ahead and tailed him. So now,
come on, friend.
Yeah.
I woke up alone.
Not even a note. Not even breakfast.
Not even breakfast.
I'll post it on the fridge.
Come on.
I feel like, didn't we discuss Hayato would be the one cooking breakfast?
I don't know if we did, but Hayato does seem like the type to cook breakfast.
I could see Taki wanting to do it because Hayato does it a lot, and he's like, I can cook too. Let me try.
The problem is I don't know if Taki can cook, or at least I don't know if Taki can cook well. I feel like the eggs would be a little bit burnt.
I think it's about the gesture, and I think
Absolutely.
Hayato would be like, alright, honey, okay. And he'd eat the burnt eggs.
He would. He absolutely would eat the burnt eggs.
And then give him shit the entire time.
Yeah, also
Absolutely. He'd be like, these eggs are a little burnt. Takes another bite.
Slightly browned eggs are good, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair. Just a little crust on them.
Yeah.
What?
Little bit of that crunch.
Yeah.
Crunch. Yeah.
This is also a tangent, but we're already on one, so I'll just mention a slight thing I remembered. Previously on Longtime Watcher, First Time Writer, as I have observed through some limited things, folks were talking about commercials of the time, of the era in Japan.
Yeah.
And I kind of did some digging. I found something. There's no guarantee that it was the network or anything, but I did find one reel on YouTube of 1971 Japanese commercials. A notable one I found was for Lotte Candy, which are kind of like, they kind of looked like Tootsie Rolls.
Okay.
But apparently, I've now found through some Googling that there was a Kamen Rider bonus thing, like a little trading cards.
Oh, neat.
And I found one that was of this episode.
Oh, yeah?
It's just...
Was it
it's just
price?
them just tussling. Hold on.
We'll have to have that linked everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll throw this up on the Twitter and whatnot.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
that's good.
Beautiful.
Coming in the Rotte Candy.
Yeah, we will absolutely make sure that gets posted up on the Twitter with this episode when it comes out.
So there you go. It all comes together, folks. Also, old commercials are fun.
Yes.
I like watching them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old commercials are fun.
Real
I
time.
want Kamen Rider style candy.
Me too.
Hey, candy companies wanna sponsor
Yeah.
us? Want to make some third-party merchandise for a 50-year-old show?
I mean, Kamen Rider's
real
still running.
lucrative. Yeah, that's true.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
they could just make real. They could just contact the
first.
people with the with the money and get some Kamen Rider candy made, and not us.
But you could support small creators.
Is it actually?
Yeah, they could. Or
do
they could make
both.
money.
You could do both.
I have to double check.
You could call it charity. Tax break.
Now you're thinking.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I was
Get
right.
a tax break today. Give me all your money.
I remember seeing, I mentioned, at least I think it is. It looks like it is. I'm not 100% sure. I was trying to remember, double check, because I've seen there is actually specifically a candy brand that pretty commonly, advertises with Kamen Rider. They'll have like a brand integration with Kamen Rider on one of their gummy candies, and I was trying to remember what it was, and it looks like I was right, and that it is in fact Sakaru Gummy.
Well, there you go.
I wasn't sure if it was actually Sakaru Gummy or not, or if I was just brain poisoned like everyone else by a certain advertisement. But
oh man, there's another one of. I'm gonna be dropping some images and we'll post these later. There's a few more things. Somebody's selling these.
Oh, that's good. Oh, I wonder if those are available on like eBay or something.
Check out images of everything we're vaguely referring to on our Twitter.
Yeah, we will definitely make sure that we post these.
Well, we'll post them.
Meanwhile,
speaking of
adventure.
things,
yeah, getting right on back to it.
Taki and Hayato's fabulous date.
Yes.
At the Shocker Mansion.
At the Shocker Mansion. So Taki and Hayato capture Shocker goons and put on their uniforms. Now see, this is the part where the synopsis and I think the episode might not agree with you. They might not agree with each other. It says that they put on their, the Shocker uniforms, which allows them to pass the death ray device unharmed. But that's not really what happens.
What?
No, not quite.
So to clarify, what happens is that they jump some Shocker guys and they force one of them to they, pretty roughly too, I will admit, they like interrogate him and are like, tell us how to turn off the barrier, which he does because I think his kidneys probably ruptured because fucking Taki like body blows him like 4 times, just bam wham zam right into the stomach.
And then it needed a stomach to top it off.
So they find the switch for the death ray device. They turn it off. They put on the Shocker clothes. They go to enter the mansion and then get stopped by 2 more fucking Shocker goons who are like, "What's the password?" And Hayato, being the little shit that he is, he goes, "Kamen Rider." And both of the, for whatever reason, the Shocker goons kind of just look at each other confused, and then fucking Taki and Hayato jump him.
You think he was just betting that was the password? They would have some kind of ironic password?
I wonder. Knowing Hayato, I feel like it was just him being a stinker.
I mean, yeah, but it's just like they waited.
Yeah.
He waited for a little bit. Like,
yeah, they did.
Wanted to watch them squirm.
I'm curious to know what the actual password would have been.
It was probably like
swordfish.
It was probably like Alchemedes.
Ants.
Or ants. You had to do the Paul Rudd ham-bone ant commercial. Ants!
Ants! Ants!
Okay, so that is a real thing. I wasn't just making that up in my brain. Good.
That commercial, oh, I fucking love that commercial.
Rent free.
It's so good.
Because that was what was playing every time, like in the later scenes when the ants show up. That's what was playing in my head.
Just ants.
And weirdly enough, after they beat up 2 Shocker agents that don't call for backup or anything and enter, they just take off their masks.
Yeah, they do.
You know what? Fuck this, they say.
Yeah, basically.
Colonel, I could do espionage, but what if I just go in guns blazing instead?
It's your prerogative, Snake.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm not here now to tell you to play the game.
Remember, Snake, this is a non-lethal mission.
A what? Ooh, sorry.
I had to kill them.
Because they're Nazis. Colonel, you have to understand.
Gonna play the game non-lethal until I get discovered once. Then, I can't help it. Just gonna go all out.
I'm just gonna go rules of nature on their asses. Like writing.
I mean, the bottom line really is just that there's no one who can say you were there. However you achieve that is up to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm great at stealth games, I'm sure you can tell.
had to kill
Yeah.
them.
He never gets caught.
I believe it. You're the type of person who does like master ghost runs in Dishonored, yeah? Speedruns.
Yeah, B records those high chaos runs.
Yeah.
Where they're never caught and everything blows up.
That's the opposite of a ghost run.
It's still perfect stealth.
Yeah, this perfect stealth is the important part.
No one's there to say I did anything.
I believe the ghost run also is not lethal.
Nah.
Yeah, this seems
That's
boring.
not a fun one.
But you know what's not boring? It's
Doesn't
Kamen
sound like
Rider.
Kamen Rider's never
This
boring.
episode.
Yeah. So
Kamen
inside
Rider
the
never
building,
betrays.
they find a hatching room where large eggs are exposed to radio waves. Yeah, sure. Hayato takes an egg, triggering the alarm system. After escaping,
Indiana
after
Jones.
including giant spike wall that they use to
Murder,
murk a shocker grunt. It rules.
it's very good. After escaping, Taki runs into a woman who turns out to be Alchemedes in human form. That is incredibly short-lived. He escapes with the stolen egg while Hayato falls underground in Alchemedes' nest. Sure, yeah.
I need to back up for a second though.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is a very important scene where some shocker mooks are like coming down the hallway. So both Taki and Hayato just jump up to the ceiling and stay there.
Because they can do that.
How?
Well, you see, there were doorknobs up there, so.
Are you?
I mean, Hayato is a cyborg freak, and he's not normal.
And Taki is his boyfriend, so. Stands to reason.
Taki's gained a few physical skills in the past year, I assume.
Yeah. I mean, look, we've already seen it in episode with him flipping and whipping and dipping.
Yeah, he has been increasingly more acrobatic and capable and doing some jumpy stunts.
Yeah, where do you think that comes from?
Yeah, and on a non-jokey note, it's true that he really has been stepping up his game in really impressive ways.
Yeah, it's been neat to see.
Mm-hmm. Are they going to turn Taki into the Kamen Rider?
It would be cool if they did.
We wish.
I mean, IQ of 490.
Yeah.
You think? This seems generous for Taki, I'm not going to lie.
Damn.
Now, which IQ are we talking?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Little,
Fair.
278.
I'm willing to give him 350.
You don't need to be mean to the poor man.
Listen, I'm just saying he keeps trying that disguise thing.
It does keep
So
not quite working out.
To not being an innuendo.
Yeah, I did want to talk a little bit about the scene with Alchemedes. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It kind of doesn't need to be there. So Taki hits this woman with her bike. She's like, ow, my leg, my leg. He's like, hold on, let me get you to a hospital. Right? He gets her on the back of the bike, and then I think she grips him weird, or he notices her weird hand or something, and he looks back, and then she just turns immediately into the Ant Queen.
It does a little back and forth. It's like boop 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 boop.
Yeah, the transition is fun, but also if you were gonna give up the ghost that quick, why did you even have a ghost to give up? Just show up as an ant monster and try to bite him.
I guess they needed a situation where Taki would be a good guy and stop.
We
for
promised
justice.
somebody that their daughter could be in an episode of Kamen Rider.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe a little bit. It's always a weird situation. It's I guess he could have gotten stopped by a monster, but I guess they wanted. They wanted him to somehow stop of his own volition, just so he could be interrupted a little bit, and then Kamen Rider could get stuck with the Ant Lion. Because we needed a commercial break.
Yeah, that's fair.
We had to pace the episode out for a commercial break, so we needed a pseudo cliffhanger.
Yeah, we gotta have some form of pacing. That's fair.
Not gonna say it makes sense.
That's also fair.
Is that really where the commercial
break
is?
Well,
it's pretty shortly
the commercial break is right after Hayato falls into the nest. Yeah. I actually really like the way the like ant nest like stage area looked. You know, we talked about how there are a lot of pretty good just practical special effects in this episode, and I felt like that was one of them.
Like, I have had sets built in my garage. Well, I say sets, but like it's been one. And the amount of effort that you'd need to do to create that enclosed space, just it's so much, given what they were probably working with and how they were probably doing it. It's just honestly really fun to see this set that they had to create for something.
And it looks good. It looks real solid. It does a very good job of evoking the imagery that they're trying to go for with the whole kind of ant theming. But yeah, so we cut to commercial break and then we come back. When we come back from commercial break, the Ant Queen orders her killer ants to eat Hayato, but he transforms into Kamen Rider and jumps out of the nest and fights her. Alchemies sprays Kamen Rider with her red acid, and unable to fight because of it, he jumps into the water to flee. This was a pretty neat fight scene. It was another cool, like, vertical fight scene. I don't know what we were going up, but it was like a neat set piece at the very least. And
I think it was it like the station, like, a bridge, maybe a drawbridge?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't 100% sure. I just kind of remember thinking, like, hey, this is like a neat little set piece. And it was cool that they did, they did something with the fact that they had cliffs that kind of just led into the water. Cliffs, I say, but, like drops, it was a multi-level type structure. So you could kind of jump off of the side of it, and pretty safely hit the water, as we see when the Kamen Rider stuntman does it. Because we throw a couple of people. We throw at least one shocker goon off the side. I don't know if we throw another one.
I think it's just one.
Yeah, I think it's just the one that we
just
do
because he gets knocked over the railing, and then the camera cuts to the outer view, and he is standing on the other side of the railing, and then jumps.
Yeah.
We gotta be safe.
Yeah, we gotta be at least a little bit safe.
I gotta admit though, like watching the Kamen Rider stunt of him jumping off into the water, that is like a 2 to 3 story drop though. I still don't feel super safe about this distance, but I guess he was probably okay.
It's at the point where you'd probably need to know how to land or like be instructed, but I have jumped off semi higher or high stuff like that before into water. And like you just need to land in a proper way, otherwise it's gonna hurt. But nevertheless, it looks really
looks
good.
great.
Because it has a good sense of motion.
I guess would this be a good time to talk about the actual? We've talked about the poison udders, and we talked about the fact that she's spraying this acid, but I don't think we've talked about kind of like what it looks like, or like what the usage of this special effect kind of looks like in motion. Is that something that we might want to cover?
Yes.
Okay, so as we mentioned, she's got these kind of poison udders that are... it's weird, because they're sticking out of the top of the head, almost as if... They look like they are supposed to be like the ant antennae, but for some reason, like, poison juice are come out there. Not sure what that's about, but...
They wanted to make a new thing. I guess they've had plenty of people spitting out of their mouths.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're like, what if tubes?
What if we put big old letters right on her forehead?
Big old milkers.
Yeah. Big fucking mommy milkers. She is the queen ant.
Yep. Yeah, I guess.
Gross.
Guess if you have to word it that way.
If you do have to word it that way, see a doctor. But yeah, it's just this really kind of like, I don't know necessarily what to call the hue. It's just like it yeah. Well, it's yeah. The color is red. It's very saturated. It's like a super saturated, like really in your face, like red. I wasn't sure if it.
It is primary color red.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's it. It is primary color red. It's not like a light red. It's not quite a dark red. It's
the paint we dumped on the camera for the Batman episode.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely for sure.
Exactly.
It is.
This is the platonic image of red.
This is
color.
all capital letters red. But it makes for a good kind of visual to look at, especially when contrasted with like when it gets sprayed on Kamen Rider, when contrasted with like the black and the green, it like really pops up against that. I don't know. It was just, I mean, it simple but effective. It was very much so simple but effective.
And they also like to or am I misremembering that they would also sometimes like throw a little puff of smoke in front of the camera when it hit people?
They would.
Yeah, okay.
A little bit. Yeah.
Little acidic reaction thing. It was a nice touch. I liked what they were doing with it.
Yeah. Again, just like good special effects stuff was done this episode. Very much so. Going back to the synopsis for the episode, Taki and Hayato take the egg to the Tachibana Racing Club, where Mari, Yuri, and Goro watch over it. They don't mention that Tachibana is also there. That's weird.
It's his club.
Yeah, it's his club.
He's always there.
He's always there. That's fair.
To be fair, they kind of almost disregard him entirely in the scene.
A little bit, yeah. After some time, the egg starts giving off a bad odor and changing color. Soon after, the racing club is attacked by Alchemedes and her killer ants. They try lighting the egg on fire, but it has no effect. Kamen Rider flees with the egg and fights the ant queen. During the fight, some acid falls on the egg, melting it, and in some river water. Kamen Rider shoots Alchemedes in the acid water with a rider kick, where she is dissolved.
That's like half.
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
That was the rest of the episode.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom half of the episode is really kind of focused all on combat mostly. So yeah,
it is. It not a lot happens, but they do kind of spend a lot of time doing not a lot.
Yes, they definitely spend a long time lingering on not much happening.
That's our job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's say you think we could get another like 35 hours
out
of
this episode?
Easy.
Hell no.
I think we could. Yeah.
We'll count every individual ant and name them.
Yeah.
I'd do it.
I know.
I will say there is a fun bit in this kind of bottom half of the episode. There are a couple of fun bits. But specifically when the egg first shows up, and like Mari, Yuri, and Goro all kind of go full caveman on like, yo, look at this big ass egg. You can make a huge omelet with this. And they all just kind of, I really
grab the wrench, just start beating on it.
I forget if they grab the wrench or if like Taki or Hayato, I feel like one of them like hands it to him just to like really enable the buffoonery.
Yeah, here, give it a shot. Yeah. And then he just kicks back on the couch and starts watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, Taki just hands it to him.
Tachibana, get a load of this.
Yeah, look, they're gonna be here for 35 minutes. Trust. Just banging on the side.
Let's go get some ice cream. They'll be out for a while.
So yeah, I mean that part I just kind of enjoyed, especially because they keep. I think it's Yuri. Yeah. So Goro hauls off the egg. Mari kind of goes to help while Tachibana is trying to get set up in the warehouse in the at the Moto Club because they're asking them to hold on to this egg. And as that is happening, as they go off screen, you just hear Yuri go, but it is a shame that we can't open that egg. It probably would have been a big omelet. It's like, Yuri, come on. We just said that this is a Shocker egg that we stole from a Shocker monster. And you're still focused on the omelet?
I'm hungry.
Just damn omelet. The fascists aren't going to stop her hunger.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
What's your point?
Well, I mean, if they eat the omelet, they would.
It's just like, come on, Yuri. This is. Can we focus a little bit? Let's talk about omelets maybe when we aren't actively dealing with a big old Nazi egg. I'll get you an omelet later,
what
sweetheart.
Spices I'm gonna put on this fucking Nazi omelet.
Do not even pretend you're going to ask her to do anything to help.
That's fair. I mean, at this point, I could not, in good faith, try to give Yuri a job. I would just be like, Yuri, go stand in the corner and try not to job to a mook.
She escorted the lesbian witness perfectly fine.
I hope she did.
She did. There's no incident
the lesbian
there.
Witness
There's also no
her
proof that she didn't get help from Taki.
She's the one who needs protecting.
Oh, well, no, I guess there is proof that she didn't get help from Taki because Taki went and rescued the other girl. So, yeah, I suppose she did a good job there. Good job, Yuri.
She took the hand off and ran.
Yep, she really did it for the relay race team.
She went all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she's that third one.
She's the anchor, yeah.
We put the really fast people up front, so it'll be fun.
Oh, poor Yuri. I wish I could trust in your ability more. I wish this show would let me.
Remember Kinoko Morg and how everybody beat people up?
Yeah.
And it was cool.
Yeah, I do remember. I remember
nice.
Yuri doing tandem offense with Tachibana. That was great.
Yeah.
What happened to that, Yuri?
Remember that episode I wasn't here for? where she led an entire karate troupe.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was cool.
Yeah, that part was neat.
That part of the episode was good, but the rest of it.
Yeah,
was
there's
not.
a part later on in that episode.
She got immediately jumped, but I was excited for a second because it was like, because she went up and she squared up, and I was like, oh man, and then she immediately.
Man, you and me both, Shakes. Heartbroken, absolutely heartbroken.
But that's not this episode.
Yeah,
sorry.
that's neither here nor there.
I'm just doing some catching up. Can't keep me down for long.
Yeah. I also like that this was a rare return of angry Tachibana as well. It'd been a while since we got a good old shot.
In his full Mr. Rogers fit.
Yep. Full on, won't you be my neighbor? No, I will not, because you are an angry old man.
He looks like Mr. Rogers. He looks like Mr. Rogers, but he's acting like a motherfucker. Yeah. Because he's just like...
Hayato leaving us on fucking watch duty.
It's some real sitcom scene framing.
A little bit, yeah.
Because there's multiple times where they're just sitting in the garage, and Tachibana just Kramer's to the door.
He really does.
And just mean mugging, and just goes, "You still watching that fucking egg? Ugh, this thing smells so bad."
That's actually not a bad segue, because I also, again, talking about Goro and Mari, and acting more like siblings. We do get a fun little scene where everyone was watching the egg, and they fall asleep after a while, and they're woken up by the smell being put off by the egg, and immediately Goro and Mari are blaming each other on some he who smelt it dealt it shit, and it's great.
Man, go farting. I would never.
Yeah,
you can't prove it.
Yeah, Mari's saying I would never do something so disgusting as to prove that she is incapable of farting.
You'll never catch me shit and no farting.
Yeah, cannot shit nor fart. needs that area cleaned for other things.
God.
Like doing podcasts.
Yeah.
Kamen Rider.
You're right. You're right. We do talk out of our ass a lot.
It's difficult to get a mic down there, but
All right. Well,
I'm sorry, B.
This is my
I'm
fault.
sorry.
I tried, B.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. You really picked the ball up off the floor when I dropped it. And then King Fax came over and slapped it out of your hands.
You keep my balls on the floor. That's where I like them.
You know what else keeps getting slapped?
Me.
This egg. This egg keeps getting slapped because Mari slaps it.
Yeah, she keeps trying to fucking open this egg.
Hers.
Neanderthal brain activate. See
truly.
egg.
See egg must crack. I like that there are two different people in this episode who try to just karate chop this egg open like it'll be that easy.
Maybe it will. Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be fun.
I would try it even if I knew I would fail. Kind of like, when someone's like, oh, this is heavy, try to lift this, or oh, this smells bad, here, smell it. Like, you have to try.
You gotta try. Try to karate chop the egg open. Believe in yourself. It'll be like an Excalibur thing. He who choppeth the egg shall be the true king of Japan.
I just want an omelet. What am I signing up for?
Got the bib on and everything.
This is
what the fuck. Just trying to eat.
Just want lunch, man.
This is at least like 36 eggs
Yeah,
worth
for
of
sure.
omelets.
It's a big egg. It is a sizable little prop that they got. And they had some other ones until this last line here in the plot synopsis, because it explains that with Alchemedi's death, all of the eggs and killer ants are destroyed. So this kind of brings us to the end of the episode. So I do want to talk about this death scene because it rules.
Well, there's a whole climax of fight that we have to cover.
That's fair.
Because we go from egg to the assault on the garage, and that's something I wanted to talk about because this is a very unique. I guess it's not wholly unique. Like we've had attacks at the motor club, but I feel like this has been like the most destructive,
for sure,
multi-room assault on the moto club we've ever had.
Without a doubt, the longest assault on the motor club for sure. Usually, assaults on the motor club are like quick, maybe 1 to 2 action like choreographies, and then like someone dips. And this was like an extended like fight.
Yeah, it was, and there was like a lot of cool things about it. I think we had I mean, for whatever they're worth, the ants. I thought the stuff at the windows was suitably creepy.
Yeah.
Like the ants are all crawling all over their windows, and spilling inside.
Yeah.
They tried to defend themselves with fire, like cavemen.
Yeah. Yeah, really. Yeah, the more that I think about it now, real cavemen energy this episode, huh?
Except that cavemen who have access to lighters and giant tanks of fuel in every room. Like, I get it, they're the moto club. Man, those things were huge, and also there was multiples.
Yeah, well, you gotta keep those motorcycles fueled up.
In the living room?
Look, you never know.
Okay. You never know.
Also, to be fair, he goes off to like a side room and then comes into the living room with a tank. So maybe it was just like outside, not like outside, but like in the hallway or something with like a on a shelf with some other maintenance tools.
And so like they try to defend themselves with the fire, and it kind of works. And like they kind of try to fortify their position and then set the egg on fire. And that's a fun little time of it just being a different prop that is definitely fireproof.
Burn on this egg with like whatever prop they use, however they make it, it is like entirely structurally sound. So like you don't see it crack or wobble or anything. It's just like, yeah, whatever, I'm on fire, I don't care. And so visually it looks great.
And then Gandalf takes the flaming egg out of the fireplace and says, "It's quite cool."
Yeah, how does that egg stop being on fire? Actually, in hindsight,
oh. The rest of the scene happens.
Yeah, I guess it's fair.
I'd like to think the oil just kind of, or the fuel just burns up.
Yeah, it just burnt all the gasoline.
Dang.
Yeah, and then the egg's not on fire.
I believe that that it just outlasted all the gas that was on it, and all of that combusted, and it was gone.
Yeah, sure. Seems fair to me. I suppose that transitions us into, I guess again talking about like good special effects stuff. We have a scene with Alchimedes putting the formic acid on the door, and then just them kind of like ripping through the door like it's paper. By which I mean like probably they actually like replaced the door with a piece of paper. But it, like visually it was great.
It worked for what they were trying to do. They turned the door into wet paper, and he just like, just kind of like tears into it and emerges.
Yeah, it's a super dope visual. Talking about the fight itself, it is definitely a really fun fight because Hayato spends the entire fight one-handed because he's just holding the egg the entire time. And serving all of these fucking shocker goons their asses.
It's insane.
This is
like he's just hand tied behind his back.
Pretty much.
Y'all mean nothing to me. He is catching knives
out of midair,
being constantly thrown at him.
They just keep
catching
knives at him.
throwing knives at thrown knives. It's amazing.
There's 3 separate knife throws. Like, these guys did not learn after the first one that this might not be a good idea. The first guy gets the knife back into his chest. The second guy, God, what happens?
I think the second guy is the one that he catches out of the air because he like stabs one other dude with it, and then I'm sorry. Yeah, the second guy is the one he catches out of the air, and then the third guy is the guy where he throws the knife back at him, and then both knives land on the ground, and he picks one up, and then he starts stabbing people.
3 separate instances of this plan go through. Everything that could go wrong,
goes wrong
with a knife throw goes wrong with these guys, and he's one-handed.
One-handed, yeah. It's fucking great. It is really very just like what a power play for our protagonist to just be like, oh fuck you, I have one hand and you have dinky knives. I'm guaranteed to win this. Also, I appreciate the guy who gets the knife back in the chest because Kamen Rider jumps up in the air, and I thought he was gonna like dive at someone or do like a flip or something. And he doesn't. He just kind of jumps in the air and then throws the knife at him. And then jumped. And then going towards the end of the fight a little bit because it specifically like the way this fight ends, the death of Alchimedes is really, I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
So obviously Alchimedes has
it's
this
very cool and then very funny.
Yeah, definitely. So Alchimedes has this formic acid that has worked once already. So obviously she's going to go back to that well. But Kamen Rider is a little bit wiser. So I appreciate, again, kind of just like with the knife thing, there are 3 attempts at this that go wrong. Yeah, because attempt number 1, he just blocks it with the egg, and then the egg is destroyed. Attempt number 2, he dodges, and then attempt number 3, he also just dodges while saying that's not going to work a second time. Which, I don't know, I feel like at attempt number 2, I've been like, alright, well, that plane's up the shitter, so let's find something else. But
well-deserved taunting.
Yeah, absolutely well-deserved taunting. But then we get, Kamen Rider and Alchimedes, they're squaring off, and I really like, I think this is probably one of the most drawn-out deaths that we've gotten. Kamen Rider hits the Rider Kick, and Alchimedes, like, rolls all the way down this hill and into the water, which that in and of itself was just a great visual, especially because like we see with the two missed shots that the acid is like going into the water, so the water's got this like big swath of red in it. Kind of like if if someone were to bleed in the pool. And so just visually that looks dope. And so Alchimedes lands into that, and then we get a short scene of Alchimedes also like it is essentially like the same dissolving effect that we did with like one of the cops earlier, but it's with an Alchimedes prop, and like we found a way to set it up slightly in water. So it's kind of like only just like a partial dissolve, but I personally felt like that made the whole thing look a lot cooler.
Yeah, she's like breaking into pieces, floating in the water, and it's real cool. But that's not enough.
Yeah.
It's not enough for Kamen Rider's special effects team.
This is where the majority of the budget went. God damn it, they're going to use it.
I guess.
And
I think all three of these are reused.
One of them is reused. The last one is absolutely reused. I think the first two I feel like have to be custom because one of them specifically has the Alchimedes prop in it, and one of them is on the set that it's like in the Shocker base with the Ant mural set and everything.
Oh yeah, that does get exploded too, because of course.
Yeah, of course. So yes, that is Alchimedes explodes. And then all of the eggs explode. And then I guess the Shocker base also explodes. And we reuse the mountaintop explosion from the Squirtle episode.
I'm drunk.
It's so fucking good.
I feel...
She died so hard, Squirtle died again.
You ever die so hard that someone else has to die again because of your death? Hardcore.
Yeah.
Only when I get that $500 shot.
That's what the $500 shot does to you. You die so hard that your grandpa dies again.
You were saying earlier, though, B.
Oh, no worries.
But yeah, with all of that being said, if no one has any kind of final thoughts or observations or anything about this episode, that is episode 35, Killer Queen Ant Alchimedes.
It's
preview.
Another.
Oh, and that preview.
Ooh, that preview.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
preview.
Whew. These two were some wild episodes, each for their own reason. I think, admittedly, Alchimedes is a little less wild than, the Gamagullier episode, but they're both still very good. The next time preview on this, like frame one, is like, oh, we're about to have a good time next episode. I think next episode of the podcast is going to be a lot of fun just by names alone. Next time we are going to be tackling episodes 36 and 37. Those are the revived mummy monster Egyptus and the poison gas monster Torikabuto's Operation G.
Ooh, we got plan names.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh, beautiful.
That's a lot.
Yeah, buckle in. It's gonna be a wild one. And we hope to see you there. Thank you very much for joining us on the episode. As always, we hope you had a wonderful time. And remember that if you can't believe in God and you can't believe in Buddha, you can always believe in Kamen Rider.